They're some of the Matildas' biggest names. Catley.
Glorious finish.
Ford.
And that's brilliant.
Cooney Cross.
What a sight that is to see.
They've delivered on the world stage in the green and gold. Tonight, they're back home in the red and white of Arsenal. Fresh from an historic 7th League Cup win, the Gunners and their Aussie stars go head-to-head with the A-League's best. Vine.
What a goal from Courtney Vine!
Chidiac.
It's in the back of the net for Melbourne victory.
Simon.
Simon makes it 2-0.
The A-League Women's All-Stars make their debut in Melbourne. Just how far can they push England's most decorated women's club?
Hello there and welcome. Look at these beautiful shots of Melbourne. Oh, I love everything about it. The only thing I love more than that is being standing right here in Marvel Stadium. The Tillies, well, some of them, they're back and they're here because we are just about to kick off our second game of our doubleheader today as the most successful women's team in England, Arsenal, take on, I suppose, the most successful team in the A-League, really, isn't it? We've said goodbye to Archie, and it's a huge hello to Melissa Barbieri. It's great to have you with us, and Grace Gill, of course. Ladies, what a game we have in store for us today.
Well, it's the first time ever that the women have had an All-Stars game, and who to get it up against is Arsenal. What an absolutely magnificent occasion for this Melbourne fan base.
As well, our girls here in Australia, the players who have had their best seasons, been selected for this All-Stars team, playing themselves against arguably one of the best teams in the world. I'm so looking forward to this one, Tris.
Oh, you better believe it. We all are. Let's try and find out who we're going to see on the pitch from the start. Let's go over to Zappers with all today's team news.
Yeah, fantastic. What a night it will be, Tristan. And we know about the Aussie connection and Arsenal. And I'm pleased to report that all three of our Aussie stars and Matildas will be starting for Arsenal women's team tonight. Of course, Steph Catley, who's born and bred here in Melbourne. What a story Steph Catley's career has been. She started her career here in Melbourne playing in front of a couple of hundred people when she started. And now she's here in front of a packed Marvel Stadium representing Arsenal. Caitlin Ford as well, what a revelation she's been for the Matildas and for Arsenal. She's settled in beautifully there. And of course, Kyra Cooney Cross as well, who also spent some time playing here in Melbourne at Melbourne Victory. And she's made the transition beautifully as well. It's not just the Aussies that we're looking forward to seeing tonight as well. They've got international experience all over the park. Kim Little, who also spent some time here in Melbourne playing at Melbourne City. She's got 140 games for Scotland under her belt. Republic of Ireland international Katie McCabe, who's been at Arsenal for almost 10 years as well. And of course, England international Alessia Russo. She's another superstar. So much power on the park for Arsenal tonight. They're going to provide a very, very stiff competition for the A-League All-Star Women team this evening. Looking forward to it, Tristan.
Thanks for that, Zappers. Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. Again, we can talk all day about the Tillies, and we will. But let's talk about some of the other players that Zappers just mentioned there, and particularly Katie McCabe. She's one of my favourites. I absolutely love her. All the time, always turns it on, and I couldn't be happier that she's here.
Yeah, she has a magnificent left foot, only rivaled by our Stephanie Catley. She's absolute professional on and off the park, and I just love how much she brings Biffo back into the game.
She has a next level physicality about her game. Every time you go to see a game that Katie McCabe's playing and you think, okay, who's she lining up against? Who she's going to be battling against 1v1? Tonight is dissimilar for me. I can't wait to see who she's coming up against one-on-one because she is such a warrior.
Yeah, she really is. Another warrior is Alessia Russo. I mean, we saw her at the World Cup here, of course. We're going to see her again in Melbourne tonight. Yeah,
she's been huge. Came across to Arsenal from Manchester United last season, which was a big move for her. She'd spent a long time at United, but now with Arsenal and what she can provide in terms of a target striker, she's a great physical stature at the front, but she's also got really good technique. She's a technician as well, and she's moved in really seamlessly to this Arsenal side. So that's been a really productive move for Russo, and she'll be one that will make for the All-Stars tonight their defensive line tested time and time again.
Great stuff. One more before we get to the Arsenal head coach. Maybe you can talk to us about Chloe Lacasse.
Yeah, Chloe Lacasse is one of those experienced players that no doubt should be on that starting 11, but I can see that she's as a substitute today. So no doubt she'll make an impact when she does get to come on later in the match. And I'm hopefully we're going to see her ply her trade in and amongst the A-League All-Stars and see how they come up against her.
Yeah, well, it's going to be great. We're very lucky to welcome to the panel right now Eunice Idewell. It's great to speak to you here today. Our very first A-League Women's All-Star. How great is it to be a part of it?
Oh, it's been phenomenal being here in Melbourne, seeing the interest that both our Australian players have, but also the team in general. That's been great. I think I see a lot of red and white here on Marvel Stadium here tonight. So, no, that's great.
What are you expecting from the All-Stars team? We just saw the men's game play out. Your face says it all. What are you expecting tonight from the girls?
I expect them to be very motivated for the game. I mean, they've been practicing here for a week. They probably have a little bit of an advantage of not making the travel like we have been doing. No, we have to be up to play against a very motivated team that probably wants to show both a performance and result here today on home soil.
You were talking about that you had experienced players in here. Can you give me a couple of the academy players that you've brought with you that we might need to look out for in the future?
Yeah, all of them, I would say, but now there is, we have Layla Harbert that was captaining the under-17 Euro squad for England here in Sweden a couple of weeks ago. I think she's a really tidy midfielder. We have Vivian Leah starting as right fullback today. That's had a really strong year with our academy. So I think there is a Maddie Earl who got voted player of the tournament here in the FIFA Youth Club here a couple of weeks ago. So there's a lot of talent in our academy. Obviously, they haven't played that much first team football. It's going to be a big ask for them coming up playing here at Marvel tonight, and I've tried to balance the team to support them with first team players around them the whole game, and hopefully they will have a good experience tonight.
Well, we can't wait to see what happens. This is the fever that takes over every time our women's come out to play here, be it the Matilda, be it the domestic league, whatever it is. It's just growing from strength to strength. The female game all around the world. It's huge. And like I said, we're so happy to have a team as strong as Arsenal to come over. But you must be so excited about who you're going to come up against, because you have already got the best of the best from here on your team. And we're looking forward to seeing who's coming here. But they came from this league. And we've got the best. We put them together to come up against you today. So is there a little bit of nerves from your team as well? Granted, you might be the most successful team in women's football, but you've never come up against the A-League All-Stars.
No, it's true though, and maybe it's more unexpected with this game than we normally have, because we haven't seen the A-League All-Stars play. We don't know anything about formation and playing style, and we have to focus on ourselves. We know we're going to play against a strong opponent, but it feels like we're going to play in front of a lot of our fans as well, so hopefully we can make them proud.
Well, the winner is football. We really appreciate you taking the time for us today.
Thank you so much.
And I'll say to you what I said to Eddie Howe. I hope you go home without a smile on your face, but thanks for a great game of football. Good on you. Take care. Like I said, plenty more to get into now. Zappers is talking to Steph. It's Kyra Cooney-Cross, even better. Yeah.
Well, Kyra, welcome to Melbourne. You must be looking forward to this. This place, of course, you're no stranger to Melbourne and playing here. What's the last few days been like for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. We've had 2 sessions in Melbourne. You know, Melbourne's a beautiful city. I absolutely love Melbourne, and the girls, the whole team have enjoyed it a lot as well. Yeah, we've been walking around, going for brunch and stuff. Yeah, we've been having a great time.
You've been playing the local tour guide, have you, along with Steph?
Oh, not so much me. I'm from Torquay, mainly Steph.
What does the team expect? Because you're coming up a team of A-League All-Stars tonight who I'm sure will want to try and prove themselves against you guys.
Yeah, we know it's definitely going to be a tough game tonight. And yeah, we're prepared for it, and I hope we can put on a good show for the supporters tonight.
And how have you found the season as a whole? Obviously it's been a busy 12 months for you and for all the women involved tonight.
Yeah, it's been a big season. Obviously we just finished our season with Arsenal, and now we're here. And then we have camp, but you know, it's football and we enjoy it, and it's our job.
Enjoy it. We look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
Great, thank you for that, Zappis. So great at seeing Kyra Cooney-Cross and the stuff that she's doing in the English division here. But again, as we said, they're coming up against the A-League All-Stars. Maybe you can talk us through what you know about the starting lineup, girls, and what we can expect.
Well, a really experienced starting lineup, and as we've said, this is the best of the best across the course of the season, starting with Lydia Williams in goal, the experienced campaigner leading from the back. And Bubs, you can speak to what you know about Lids in between the sticks tonight.
Yeah, I think you know, she really wants to go out with a bang, and this opportunity to play on Marvel Stadium in one of her last games of football has been a real big motivator for her coming back from injury. So it'll be great to see her don the gloves in Marvel.
But also the Matildas that are lining up in this team. This is not just A-League All-Stars, but you see the likes of Alex Chidiac, Elise Keller-Knight, Courtney Vine, Michelle Heyman, Kaya Simon trying to get herself back into the Olympic squad. So as much as the game is important for the All-Stars tonight, performances for the individuals as well, because as with the men's game, there's a lot of eyes on these games, a lot of people watching performances from these players.
And these are marquee players. These are the players that have chosen to come back to the A-Leagues because this is where they want to play, and they probably want to play the rest of their career out. And today is all about showcasing why the A-Leagues is so great.
It really is. Let's get first-hand some comments from one of those superstars that we have in Alex Chidiac. Alex, thanks for taking the time for us today. We're just talking about the momentous occasion that we have here tonight. How great is it to be a part of something so special and so important for the domestic league here?
Yeah, no, it's really special and really exciting to be part of. And sorry, I'm really happy to be part of this. And damn it, sorry, this is so distracting.
You're getting stitched up there.
There's nothing you can't do, Alex Chidiac.
Yeah, we're trying.
It's Bubs on the mic here, mate. I can't wait to see you do a cheeky nutmeg on someone. Who are you going to call it for? Because I'll give you $100 if you cheeky nutmeg anybody.
Oh, it has to be Kyra.
Chids, across the week, obviously players coming together from across the course of the season. How has that been, the environment, the group? It looks like you're all getting along really well, but these were your opposition just a couple of weeks ago, and now they're your teammates.
Yeah, it's actually been really good. I think we're all a bit surprised in how well we're getting along, and the week's gone by really quickly. We're just super happy that we're getting along, we're having a lot of fun, and Joe's a great coach, so it's been a great week.
Who have you linked up well with at training? Who have you felt most at ease with alongside you on the pitch?
Oh, I mean, we've kind of been playing with everyone a little bit, but been linking up with Michelle really well, so that's been great.
In terms of the coaching staff that you find yourself working with this week, Alex, what impact do you feel like Joe is having on that squad and all round, whether you're at the start of the spectrum of age or later on?
No, he's an insanely talented coach. We all know that he's done some amazing things in the world game, and we're all just trying to get as much info as we can out of him. And then the other coaching staff have been amazing as well. So it's been really cool to see A-League coaches get rewarded for how well they've done and then get to work under such a great coach like Joe.
And in terms of their instruction to you tonight, Chids, what kind of role have they asked you to play this evening?
A role where we go at them. Like we want to put on a show tonight, and we saw the men were able to do that. So, so yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun one.
Well, you can definitely guarantee that once you got Alex Chidiac on the pitch. Thanks for taking the time for us today. We can't wait for this game to kick off.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's got me even more. I've gone up another gear now for this game. I absolutely love Alex Chidiac, and I can't wait to see how this one's going to go. Another player we're talking about, Sophie Harding. She's re-signed with the Wanderers. That's great.
It's great for the Wanderers, definitely, but it's also great for Sophie Harding to be coming off the bench tonight. She's going to look to get some goals in the back of the net. She's going to carry on what she brought to the A-Leagues this season into the All-Star A-League games tonight.
Yeah, and she had a wonderful season under Robbie Hooker. She seemed to really come to light. She seemed to be playing really confidently, really comfortably, and that got her awarded with a call-up into the Matildas training camp. So when you're a player who has been in the league for a while, but just taken a little while to sort of chip away and blossom, she's now hitting her straps. And again, when we speak about opportunity, we speak about stages and eyes on the game. For Soph coming on, the kind of impact she can come to try and find the back of the net, depending what kind of state the game is in at that point. For her, it's another opportunity to put that on show.
I guess what's really interesting as well, we talk about all these players, and as soon as they have quality, which they definitely do, we talk about the next move and when they're going to go abroad and what can they do over there. It's really refreshing sometimes to see someone maybe like Courtney Vine who would have had offers everywhere across the world and says, you know what, no, I want to stay here. I want to be part of this domestic league here because I feel like I'm still getting challenged here. The move might come but she loves the domestic league here.
I think that's what we have to recognise about our female players, that not everybody is, want to be a tourist. They don't want to go overseas. They are very much homebodies. Everybody's different. And when it comes to where you're safe, where you're comfortable, but you're also challenged, that's the place where you want to be. And you're playing some great football, and it only just helps you in your confidence. And when you're putting the ball in the back of the net, but still having the challenges day in, day out at training, that's really what makes a player shine.
I think what I really love about the Liberty A-League as well is that I feel like we're being so, it's so accessible to see the characters that we have within our league as well. Not everybody in this country will be a round ball fan. But when you can find these characters who you can relate to, and they have that quality that they can inspire not just our kids, our friends as well. I mean, we need more of that. And we've got some great role models here. Certainly Michelle Hyman, who we're looking at here as well. We've got them in abundance in this league.
I think it's actually one of the really special parts about our league is the access to players, the ability that fans have to engage with players, whether it's on game day, whether it's in the media. It's something that we've had for 16 years. And now to have that continuing, and again tonight at Marvel Stadium, great numbers coming through here, and these are the players, not only Matildas, but these are the players that fans want to see. They are so adored, and the access and just how humble they are around fans, and that kind of engagement is so good to see.
Great stuff. We've just gained a friend at the podium here at the second jump tomorrow. Joe, it's absolutely great to have you back here looking after our A-League All-Stars. Just how important is it for someone like yourself to be a part of something so momentous as this tonight?
Well, look, the feeling this week's been absolutely amazing. I mean, bringing the girls together, and it's been them. It's been all about them and what they want to achieve, and what an occasion tonight. It's a great platform, and they'll showcase some good football.
They've mentioned, a couple of the players have mentioned that the training environment has been excellent all week, and that they've bonded really, really well. Can you talk to us about what yourself, Kat, and Emily have done to sort of help make that happen in such a short time frame as well?
Well, look, it's really been about them. It's really been about the players, and we've focused on the girls and giving them the platform to showcase. And Em and Kat have been fantastic. Maze has been brilliant, and just giving them opportunities. And we've taken this as a massive opportunity. Have a look at this. You know, who would have thought that a women's game of this stature with a great European team against some of our A-League's best.
But for you who were in the league just 5-6 years ago in 2015-16, what have you seen change between then and now? I know you've been abroad since, but sort of the biggest changes you've noticed in our domestic league?
I think the obvious thing is that you're seeing players are playing a lot more football, so that base player is a lot better, and that's, you know, it's nothing, it's no sort of amazing situation. They're playing more games, more opportunities, more bigger opportunities, and that base player is just a lot more tactically better, smarter, and obviously more exposed to better occasions.
I have to bring it back to Melbourne, though. I can see that you've put Alana Cern matched with Kayla Morrison in the back line. How great is it to see a couple of players from the Victorian NPL playing on a stage like this?
That's what it's all about. It's all about, you know, you've got to give them the opportunities, and hopefully they do take this opportunity. I'm sure they will. They've been great all week, and they're really looking forward to tonight.
What do you think they can benefit from the most coming up against Arsenal tonight? I mean, obviously, the levels of everywhere are always going to be different, but in terms of having this squad put together the way it has, no doubt different players need different things from your brain, that your experiences. How do you feel as though your squad tonight will benefit the most from this game?
There's probably two things here. I mean, all I did was introduce a couple of principles. We want to keep the ball. We want to try to keep the ball as much as we can. So there was a couple of principles. We went through a few moments where we felt we could probably take advantage of Arsenal and where they're good. So it was really closing that loop. But the most important thing is more just to be exposed to this pressure situation, you know, and big crowd, big stadium, and so on. They're coming off a WSL, so they'll be sort of the rhythm will probably be pretty high, because a lot of these players are just coming back after 4 weeks. So it's going to be a little bit of a mental approach, a little bit of a physical approach, and we hope to manage the game well.
And talk to us just a little bit before you go about this football fever that always seems to take over when our women play football in this country.
Well, look, I mean, you've got amazing players, you've got an amazing stadium, you've got an amazing brand. The World Cup did wonders. and people want more. People just want more of good football. And when you bring a team out like Arsenal, everyone wants to see them.
That's it. We can't get enough. We really appreciate you taking the time for us today.
Pleasure.
Best of luck today. Cannot wait for it. We keep talking about the quality of this league. It's time to stop talking about it. It's time to start looking at it. Here's some great goals from the Liberty A-League.
Still going, Gamal takes a shot from distance and a wonderful goal. What a strike from Gamal.
Harding from distance, Sophie Harding, are you kidding me? Something out of nothing.
Dirk Talicio keeping an eye on Em Gilnick, who's having a strike on goal. Emily Gilnick with an absolute special.
Cass Davis in game on.
Trying to be patient, Canberra's that ball sent in, a beautiful strike, and it's all square. A fantastic effort from Sarah Clark.
The Isuzu Ute A-League Grand Final is only the beginning of Finals Day on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. After the A-League decider, the countdown is on for the FA Cup Final. The Battle of Manchester at Wembley Stadium.
This can win it, and it does. It's a Manchester FA Cup Final again.
Also on Paramount Plus, the Scottish Cup Final roars to life with a derby of its own between Celtic and Rangers.
But that is enough for Rangers to book their place.
And then to complete the football marathon, Harry Kuehl's Yokohama F. Marinos tackled Hernan Crespo's Al Ain in the second leg of the Asian Champions League final. One night, 9 hours of intense football drama, all on Network 10 and Paramount Plus.
9 hours of football is just not enough. There you go, final day. Central Coast Mariners take on Melbourne Victory. Then, of course, it's the Glasgow Scottish Cup final between Celtic and Rangers up the hoops. Then we've got the Manchester Derby in the FA Cup final as Manchester City take on Manchester United. Everything on Paramount Plus, and of course our grand final there on 10 as well. But who cares about tomorrow when you've got today? And you've got the A-League All-Stars taking on ours. Let's talk about some of those Matildas players who were over there playing for Arsenal and who are going to be hanging here tonight.
I really think that Arsenal should be recognising how much these Matildas have built this fan base. Let's just talk about how many Arsenal shirts are here tonight. It's absolutely amazing that 3 kids from Australia could do this. It's absolutely brilliant, and you know they can play some football too.
Also, even more so, a full circle moment for Joe Montemurro, who used to be the Arsenal women's coach, used to be a coach in Melbourne, is now here coaching the A-League All-Stars against his former team. So it's a full circle moment. It's really nice. But for those players, for Steph Catley, we know her quality in the Matildas at Arsenal. We know her quality when she was here in the A-League as well. And she has led this Arsenal team back over in the WSL. Week in, week out, she's a regular. She's one of the first names on the starting sheet. And you mentioned it, Bubs, but this left foot, we have become accustomed in Australia to how much quality we get out of Steph Catley every single game, and it's continually sublime, the service she provides.
Yeah, one of the world's best left fullbacks. She's overlapping, she creates opportunities, she can come inside, she can finish on the end of a cross, especially when Kyra Cooney Cross can deliver balls in behind, especially when she's overlapping. That kid has got such great vision, and I'll be interested to see how Jonas puts her into tonight and what freedom he has given her in terms of going at the All-Stars and trying to create as much as she can, because she can find a deft pass in the middle of 100 bodies. It's amazing. It's a really great character of hers.
Yeah, she's got absolute ice in her bones. I remember when she scored against Ireland in the World Cup, I was devastated, but at the same time I love the Matildas, so I was delighted. One of the newest Zillies who's gone over to Arsenal, of course, is Kyra Cooney Cross. We just heard from her there before, and she's had an immediate impact over there and in the centre of midfield here.
Yeah, she has. She's a player that we've spoken about in Australia who has so much talent. Going over to England has taken her game to the next level. She's become physically stronger. She's become more tactically astute, I think, and we've always known of her quality with the ball at her feet, dribbling through bodies, dribbling through players. But now she's getting to do that week in, week out against some of the best players in the world, and that's how you grow. So for Kyra Cooney-Cross, I'm thrilled for her, and I think she'll play a key part in tonight's game.
Yeah, and the trifecta is completed by Caitlin Ford, who again, another player who seems to have gone to a new level.
Yeah, Caitlin Ford has the ability to finish in the 6-yard box with a plum. She can be given just a fraction of a metre of room and she can put it in the back of the net. And she's tormented goalkeepers her whole career with her pace. She can get onto 1v1 situations, and the strike that she has on her is unstoppable on most days.
It's just great to see. It really is great to see that the love and the enthusiasm that everyone has here. I mean, look, we got a great crowd earlier on for the game, but it's gone up to another level now in here as well, and that's what we come to expect every single time. What does it say about I suppose, just the quality that we have here?
Well, I think it's the quality. I think it's a groundswell. I think it's the carry-on from the World Cup last year. We see Matildas play week in, week out in the A-League. Tonight we see the best of those players, plus one of the best women's team in the world, coming onto Melbourne ground, where we've got so many wonderful football fans here in Victoria, and they're filling up here at Marvel Stadium tonight in front of what should be a really good performance between these two sides.
Yeah, this A-League's team is going to be a blend of experience of players who've come back, who've been there, done that, and the young players that want to come on and actually perhaps influence Arsenal into a contract. You know, they're seeing themselves as being showcased here on Marvel Stadium, and it's going to be one of those games where you can actually put your foot in the door. I know it's happened before for the A-League All-Star men's teams, so it can actually happen for these girls tonight.
Well, it's going to happen. You don't have to wait much longer. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back to Marvel Stadium. We've moved from the podium down to the walkway. The players are about to enter the pitch from right behind us. And Melissa Barbareri, how exciting is this? This crowd is unreal.
It is absolutely amazing. I've got goosebumps. I'm thinking that I'm going to run out and play any second now. I can't wait to see what the girls are feeling at this moment.
I was going to suggest that we just walk out behind the teams. Here they are as they come behind us. You can see all these fans here, young and old, everyone's on their feet, everyone's screaming as loud as they can. There's flags absolutely everywhere. For a first All-Stars women, how big is this?
It's absolutely brilliant. You can't get better than this.
And we won't have to. The first half is coming up with Teo.
What an occasion, the first ever A-League Women's All-Star Game. Arsenal, the opponent, 15-time champion of England, 3 in the WSL era, 14-time FA Cup champion, 7-time League Cup champion, and the only English team to have ever won the UEFA Women's Cup. There is no team more decorated in world football than Arsenal. Tonight, they take on the very best that the Liberty A-League has to offer. And what a showcase for it at Marvel Stadium. Lots of Arsenal red and white in the stands. And unsurprisingly, they're 3 Matildas. Kyra Cooney-Cross, Caitlin Ford and Steph Catley at the forefront of the fans' affections. Not far away from both teams making their way out onto Marvel Stadium, this marquee occasion where the A-League Men's All-Stars won 8-0 against Newcastle United earlier. And now we get to see what the A-League All-Stars women can do. There are the 2 teams in the tunnel. Rebecca Stott, the captain of the All-Stars. The Isuzu Ute tunnel cam also showing us former Melbourne City player Kim Little, the legendary captain of Arsenal. All 4 players there at the front of those queues with more than 100 international caps between them. Little for Scotland, Sarah Bahati, 149 caps for France. Rebecca Stott, more than 100 for New Zealand, and Lydia Williams, more than 100 for the mighty Matildas. Just some of the star power on offer, about to head out onto the arena. So here come the All-Stars, and here come Arsenal. The first ever Liberty A-League All-Stars game. And Marvel Stadium responds so loud, the stands filling. An 8:05 p.m. local kickoff for those watching around all corners of the globe, and there's tears in the eyes of the fans already. That's what it means to see the Arsenal in your backyard. Alessia Russo there, the England striker, broke Australian hearts about a year ago in the semi-finals of the FIFA Women's World Cup, scoring England's 3rd goal as they knocked the Matildas out. But tonight, she stands next to a Matilda in Kyra Cooney-Cross. They are Arsenal teammates for this one. So let's take a look at how these 2 teams line up. The Arsenal women, a mix of experience and youth. Sarah Bahati actually appears for the club for the first time. Vivian Lear, the number 53, has never actually made a league appearance, just 2 in the League Cup. And Katie Reid, the 17-year-old also, just the 1 appearance in the league. Those 2 are joined by the Australian trio, Ford, Cooney-Cross and Catley, amongst the star-studded lineup and bench. The All-Stars, well, they draw from all corners of the Liberty A-League, but so many Matildas connections, including Michelle Heyman, who will carry so many hopes at the Olympics, as will Courtney Vine, and a number of players hoping to still challenge for that squad, including Alex Chidiac, making up Joe Montemuro's starting 11. And the match ball will be delivered by the Isuzu Ute Mini D-Max. Today's officiating crew is headed by the Liberty A-League Referee of the Year, Casey Rybelt, assisted by Emma Kotzbeck, Maggie Price, and 4th official Georgia Ghirardello, and also assisted by our friend here, the Isuzu Ute Mini D-Max, who's off and running. And out to the middle of Marvel Stadium goes the Mini D-Max. And there is our referee, Casey Rybelt, recently had the whistle for the Liberty A-League Women's Grand Final, which was not too far from this very venue over at Amy Park. So Arsenal in their red and white will attack the right of your screens in the first half. Jonas Eidevall, the Swede, is their manager. Oversaw their win in the League Cup this season, his first piece of silverware of a major trophy variety in charge of the Gunners. Joe Montemuro, championship winner with Melbourne City, also coached the Melbourne Victory, amongst others. Prior to kick-off, teams have taken a knee. And now back on their feet with formalities completed. It's Alessia Russo, the England star, to kick off the first ever Liberty A-League All-Stars match. Kyra Cooney-Cross ready to run the midfield for Arsenal. Michelle Heyman to lead the line for the All-Stars. Just a bit of nervous tension building. The whistle goes, and that roar tells the story. It's a raw Grace Gill, former Matilda, that you heard so many times about a year ago at the FIFA Women's World Cup, and a big women's football occasion joins us once again.
Well, good evening, Teo, and thank you. What an occasion this is. Fantastic spectacle. Arsenal women's team, arguably one of the best in the world, up against our very own A-League All-Stars. What an opposition to test yourself against.
Now, our league, the Liberty A-League, Grace, has such a reputation for giving opportunities to teenagers. How would the two 17-year-olds? Well, we've just got I think, a flat ball. So we're going to look for a second ball to come out here. Someone get the Mini D-Max. Need to drive out a different ball, please.
Not quite the start. They would have liked referee Casey Rybout quick to correct.
Georgia Ghirardello on pressure duty here. And the Arsenal bench appear to have responded first, providing an adequately inflated ball. But back to what I was asking, Grace, about the two 17-year-olds in the Arsenal lineup. Vivian Leah, who's never played a league game, and Katie Reid, who's played just the one. A bit of a thrill for them, given that this Arsenal team is such a difficult one to break into. They have to travel to the opposite side of the world to get their opportunity to start for the Gunners.
Well, we use the word opportunity a lot for exactly that reason. Just the chance to showcase your skill in a game that's a friendly and exhibition match. No league points riding on the result of this one tonight. So you can have that flexibility about the lineup, and it's a huge moment for those two young players, especially being supported by the experienced Arsenal players around them tonight.
Now on the same flank here, Reid keeping possession. And now Arsenal trying to move. Catherine Muller-Cool not able to make a great advance. Rebecca Stott, one of the All-Stars players with Women's Super League experience. Brighton and Hove Albion in England was her club. Tamiki Yallop, sideways pass to her good friend Elise Kellon-Knight, who was stitched up a little bit by the square ball. And Arsenal win back possession. And now can probe the left. One of the Matildas connections, Caitlin Ford. You can hear the crowd rise. It's a trademark burst of acceleration. And then Cool is not able to free the feet, but a ricochet gives Lydia Williams a first touch of the ball.
Well, some nervy moments. Really good pressure by Arsenal. And a trademark run, you mentioned it, Tao, from Caitlin Ford. The ability she has to tear down that left-hand side. Just a little burst of acceleration and take on her defender.
Now Courtney Vine's turn. That's it inside. Alex Chidiak. And Tamiki Yallop. Elise Kellon-Knight. More than 100 caps of Matilda's experience between the two of them. Kayla Morrison, the American who now holds Australian citizenship, with a nervous pass. And a block here by Yallop. Deflects the ball kindly to Kaya Simon. And now the Kiwi connection. Michaela Foster, Wellington Phoenix fans who are staying up late. A pleasure to have your company. All eagerly anticipating what Michaela Foster can do.
A fantastic season she had, Michaela Foster, with the Wellington Phoenix. Just went about her business, but was sure, was solid, provided such assurance at the back for that Wellington side.
And much like Katie McCabe for Arsenal, expect Michaela Foster to take corners and free kicks and be a dead ball specialist for the All-Stars. Arsenal in possession here. Reid once again, the England under-19 international. Every junior that Arsenal brought on this tour, bar one, is an England youth international, so perhaps take note of these names. Keep them in the back of your mind for when the Matildas play in future World Cups and international games. Vivian Leah. And now at the centre of defence, Steph Catley proudly calls Melbourne home. Kyra Cooney-Cross, we heard from her in pre-game. She said, "I'm from Torquay." She flew the flag for the Surf Coast. And speaking of coast, the South Coast, Wollongong's own Caitlin Ford is going to win a corner right here for Arsenal, and a chance perhaps for Katie McCabe to weave some of that magic. And it looks as though Kyra Cooney-Cross, the right footer, has pulled rank here.
Bright start for Arsenal. We know that they can be dangerous from set pieces, particularly when you have the likes of Cooney-Cross and Katie McCabe to whip the ball in.
Will Kyra, go-director, history of scoring Olympico goals, swings that one right into the mixer and gave the defence a chance. Contact, though, off Reid and out for a goal kick. Cooney-Cross, of course, famously won the 2020 Grand Final with a 120th minute corner. Landed right on the goal line and ended up being decisive. Just when it looked as though it was going to go to penalties. She's only 21, Grace, but already a bit of a Melbourne victory legend for that moment alone.
She's always showed signs of being a promising young player, did Kyra Cooney-Cross. Taking a game to a new level, moving overseas to Europe, playing in and amongst some of the best, the training environment as well. And she's a mainstay in our Matildas team too.
Ford getting plenty of the ball in these early exchanges. Kim Little. Now a reset at the centre of defence. Reed. Victoria Pelova, Dutch international. Chance for handball against Courtney Vine. And a misplaced pass here. Foster had to make the intervention, but has given possession straight back to Cooney Cross. And then Pelova sweeps it over to McCabe, an incisive pass. Little to Ford. The All-Stars back on the goal line almost here, defending in numbers. It's tough to find a way through for Caitlin Ford as a result. And the cross is swung in over the head of Russo. Foster trying to keep it away from Leah. And followed by Kaya Simon, but doubles back into the middle of the pitch. Cooney Cross able to lose the attention of Heyman and Chidiac. Now the Matildas connection on show. Ford. There's two markers guarding her. Now Ford made an advanced run. The cutback is on, but can't find Alessia Russo. Safety first from Kayla Morrison, and the coach liked that from the sidelines.
That's tidy from Arsenal. Finding the passes between the lines. Good movement off the ball as well. Nice run from Caitlin Ford, as she so often does, into space and the pass to follow. All Stars just on the back of their heels a little bit, absorbing pressure at the moment.
Second corner of the night for Kyra then. And again, cramping the goalkeeper, that one honing in on the target. And Lydia Williams catching practice. 103 internationals, 5 Women's World Cups. And has announced that pending selection for the Paris Olympics will be her swan song in international football.
How great to see Lydia Williams back playing after some injury difficulties, some ankle surgery, but back on the park. You mentioned there, she's such a wonderful servant of the game.
Yallop looking for the run of Courtney Vine, tried to use her trademark speed. Second ball will give Vine a chance to break away and take on Katie McCabe. Vine, a little dart, once, twice, but left the ball behind. Stayed down, and the All-Stars are not going to rush things. Safety first, and so concern with the Matildas going into camp in a match a week from tonight.
Courtney Vine leaving the ball just a little behind, and as she reached out, it was an unforgiving clearance from Katie McCabe.
Well, we know there's no such thing as a friendly for Katie McCabe.
Well, it's always fascinating to see who Katie McCabe comes up against in international football, club football, because it will be a fierce contest. It will be no different tonight up against the likes of Courtney Vine, 2 speedsters, but McCabe, the physicality of her game is ever present.
And so almost at the 10-minute mark, the All-Stars trying to build a bit more possession and enjoy a bit more advanced territory after absorbing some early pressure from Arsenal. Here's Foster. Stuck in a 1-on-2, but finding a way through. Michelle Heyman, great play from the centre forward. Foster trying to swing it all the way across the penalty area to the advancing Vine. And Arsenal had the numbers in the middle. Leah blocked, but a fortunate ricochet out for a goal kick. And the initiative there of Michaela Foster made something happen.
They might be the moments All Stars are going to have to look to break through this Arsenal defence, which has largely been untested in the opening passages of this game. The early ball was the right idea, just didn't quite have the leverage to meet Courtney Vine at the far post. You could see what she was trying to do. 10 minutes in, and by large in part it's Arsenal who have their foot on the ball and just managing the tempo of this game.
And a bit of conjecture as the game stops at a standstill once again, albeit with a live ball in play. Maybe the rogue ball made its way back out onto the pitch. Katie McCabe. There's no subtlety to the body language. She just boots it away over the fence. And they're going to ask for another ball to come from the sidelines. Who's got a pump, Grace?
Arsenal team reaching into their training bag of balls. Not what you often see at this level.
Well, especially given it's the match ball that was used in no less than 139 A-League women's games all through the summer. I'll be honest, I've watched every single one of them, Grace, and I can't remember the ball going flat too often. Maybe it's just a unique circumstance, given that, to be fair, none of those games took place here at Marvel Stadium. As you can see with some of the markings for our international audience, that is Australian football just creeping through the green of the grass, and it is traditionally a hard surface at times. Here's Rebecca Stott as the All-Stars now look to build once again. Vine, a flick just a little bit too slick for Alana Cern to run onto. So another of the Melbourne born and raised connections. Inaugural signing of Western United. Ever present in their first 2 seasons of Liberty A-League competition. Reid puts the head down and decides to take the game on. Past Heyman. And now Leah. Reid again. This time Heyman was having a little nibble and gives away a free kick.
You can see the shape of the All-Stars just sitting back in more or less in a 4-4-2 block and allowing Arsenal just to advance in to their own half and trying to pick the pass. A few occasions Arsenal have had success finding that ball.
Kim Little made a run, but Leah couldn't find her with the pass. Palova. Now McCabe, crowd getting a little restless, looking to build a swell of noise as Arsenal attack. Cool. Doubling back, McCabe. Now Catley. Better from Arsenal, Palova. And then Ford was trying to shuffle it on for Little, but the intercept was made. Simon, good use of the body. Cooney cross. Here's Russo now. And an uncompromising challenge from Alana Cern. Knocking down the much taller Alessia Russo.
Just a little nip of the heels there. All-Stars under a lot of pressure in this opening 15 minutes. Just trying to deny Arsenal of those attacking moments. Some last-ditch tackles, last-ditch defence at play already.
So a discussion taking place between the right foot and left foot options. 2 hands in the air from Katie McCabe, and that means she's on delivery, swinging it to the penalty spot. Michelle Heyman heads away, only as far as Caitlin Ford. Ford cuts away from Yallop. Cool, sizes up the options, hoping for Russo. And Lydia Williams collapses onto the ball. Williams, who spent the best part of 2 seasons at Arsenal, only 11 appearances in that time due to injuries. Still plenty of familiarity with how Arsenal will be trying to play. McCabe. Ford has resumed her starting position back on the left wing. Guarded by 2 opponents, cuts to the byline. Desperate header away by Morrison. Ball bounces in the area, so a careful challenge from Simon to dispossess Palova. Now the All-Stars consolidate. dangerous area to be trapped here. The Arsenal press not absolutely full bore, but you can just see the All-Stars trying to think their way through it. Yallop commanded the ball, but then coughed it up. And lucks of fortune. Not only did the referee come to Yallop's aid, but Russo missed the ensuing shot.
Well, it was a heavy challenge through the shoulder from Pelova. Difficult part of the field to play out against as well. You've got to get that so right in those areas, and if you don't, you can be punished. On that occasion wasn't to be, but Nikki Yallop just invited half a breath of pressure.
Arsenal will feel as though they are closing in on the opening goal. Dominant in possession, dominant in territory. And this All-Stars defence, Joe Montemuro has organised. Will now be calling upon every bit of communication to try and keep the Arsenal out. Grace, it looks as though out of possession, Kaya Simon has dropped back almost into a left wing-back position for the All-Stars at the moment. They've almost added an extra player to their defence when Arsenal's on the attack.
Yeah, early indications suggest that All-Stars too are looking to defend in that 4-4-2 block, with Kaya Simon popping back in just to provide a little bit of insurance for the All-Star side. As attacks in position then to try and get forward as well and provide an attacking outlet.
Here is Simon standing in the left back role, clearing to Heyman. Not much by way of support. Heyman's got to do it all herself. A kind deflection takes it to Yallop, and now Foster. And Michaela Foster is the outlet. Simon. Pelova went to ground and allowed Kellon Knight some breathing room to square over to Rebecca Stott. And now the right side might allow the All-Stars to advance. Ford is all action though. Wouldn't let Cern away with the ball and takes it for herself. And then a deft little pass inside, but Cern has done well to get back and just stop Kim Little stealing a march. Williams with the first-time clearance. Simon against Leah. Heyman. The give and go, but the return pass was intercepted. Simon with an arm up to apologise because she saw what Michelle Heyman was trying to execute. And now Pelova, the Dutch international. Cooney Cross tries for the pass right through the middle. Little made it work. Great touch. And now Russo rolls it out to Ford. The crowd find their voice. Ford cuts onto her right side. And then the follow-up right at the edge of the box. A teasing cross over the head of all and sundry. And chased out of the penalty area on the opposite side by Kaya Simon. And then Heyman with a little glance on. But every time Caitlin Ford takes possession now, she looks up at not one, but two markers to keep her company.
It's part of her game, really. She draws in a couple of defenders, which opens up space for other Arsenal players. Feels as though it is building for the Arsenal at the moment. That nice passage of play started with Cooney Cross. Incisive pass to the feet of Kim Little.
Well, the veteran Heyman tried to roll the 17-year-old defender in Reid. And Reid perhaps showing maturity beyond her years just to make sure that the reigning golden boot of the Liberty A-League wasn't able to emerge with the ball. And now Leah, knocked away by Morrison. Kayla Morrison, captain of the Melbourne victory. Subject of A-League's All Access. If you haven't seen the episode, definitely worth checking out her return from a knee reconstruction. She was at the peak of her powers, championship captain, only to be struck down by an ACL in 2021. She's made a successful recovery and played a complete season since, which is great to see. Called into action here, trying to defend against Russo. Such a tough player because at ground level, such a physical presence to win the ball in the air. Arsenal's leading scorer of the season just completed. The ball's getting further and further away from that centre-forward position at the moment. Ford the most likely to make something happen. McCabe. Forward and Cooney cross, and it comes unstuck. There's a little touch, so Arsenal will get the throw. Sideval looking pretty relaxed at this point. The gum's getting a workout. Grace, do you want to try and explain why there's a few boos ringing around Marvel Stadium? You're waving me off. I think fans of the Arsenal will know what's going on at the club. The exit of Vivian Miedema, that's for their off-season to sort out. Right now it's all about trying to find a goal. Reed to Leah. The little burst to get a yard on Foster. Cameron Knight plugs the ball in the turf and then clears to Kaya Simon. Now Yallop. Heyman drawn a long way even from the halfway line. Simon providing support. And then a rather forcefully hit back pass. Williams under pressure from Russo. Able to just get it past Caitlin Ford, and now Courtney Vine can turn and go. Vine running at Cooney cross. And so with the All-Stars pinned so deep, Michelle Heyman, the centre forward, right now what they're looking for, the All-Stars, is the outlet pass to the right side of the pitch to Courtney Vine, because she's the one that can launch a counter-attack and break the lines. Ultimately, a lot of the clearances from the All-Stars have rather been finding Heyman instead.
So far, it's a game that's largely been played on the Arsenal's terms. Just trying to pick their point, pick their time to break forward and find a pass between lines. Vivian Leah has looked really bright in this opening passage for Arsenal. Such a young player, 17 years old. She's looked lively, she's looked involved. But so far, a fairly comfortable possession-based opening 23 minutes or so for Arsenal.
And here is the aforementioned Leah. Starting to really grow in confidence now. A few feints on the ball. Russo knocks it back. Cooney cross. Ford. Looking to return it to Russo, but Stott rose in the air. And now Vine. At ground level, wiped out by McCabe. Courtney Vine looks up at the referee, Casey Rybelt, and wonders if, even in this friendly environment, a yellow card might be forthcoming. It looks as though it's just going to be a talking to.
There's a second challenge between these two, and I think Courtney Vine was asking the question from the turf of Marvel Stadium of how many were going to be allowed. Just left a leg in there, McCabe.
Just on that point about looking to launch a counter-attack though, Grace, Courtney Vine is the main speedster. We haven't seen much of Alex Chidiac on the ball. When a team is pinned in their defence like this and starved of possession, how much of clearing the ball is just about getting it to safety versus actually trying to strategically launch a counter-attack?
Well, that's the balance. And at the moment, the All-Stars have been defending and at moments desperately. As much about getting the ball away from dangerous areas. It's hard to then build a counter-attack, but that's what they're going to need to try and do. Those clearances need to find the likes of Heyman so that they can, in fact, build an attack. At the moment, there's a lot of defending going on, and those outlet passes forward haven't been so apparent.
Crowd enjoyed the back heel. The assistant referee didn't. Offside. Lucia Russo and Caitlin Ford. Of course, Russo, her most famous goal in the European Championships semi-final against Sweden. A back heel. It's got all the tricks. Doesn't have to be facing goal. Know how to find the back of the net. Here's Morrison to Chidiac, just trying to get a feel for the ball and get involved in the game. Now Morrison goes long over the top. Heyman's off and running. Flag stays down. Simon following up. Kai Simon. Vine calls for it on the opposite side. Chidiac. Now Kellon Knight. Intricate passing from the All-Stars, but Heyman is knocked off the ball. And now Lear. And the All-Stars win it back in an advanced position. They can. They'll get a throw in. Thanks to Arsenal just coming unstuck on the passing chain.
That was better from the All-Stars. Needing to find those forward passes, did on that occasion. Really intelligent run as well from Michelle Heyman, just off the line of Arsenal's defence. Kept herself onside well.
Seeing almost exactly what Michaela Foster sees. Decision time with this throw. Chidiac presented for the ball. Now Foster gets it back. Wants to use that left foot and will win a corner, first of the night for the All-Stars team. And they do have some tall targets to aim for. Heyman, Morrison, all great exponents of a headed goal.
It's not a bad outcome as well for the All-Stars. Michaela Foster looking to wind up across into the box. Didn't have many All-Star shirts to aim for. So a corner and a little bit more time to get set up and aim for some of those targets that we've just mentioned there. Michelle Heyman particularly. Fantastic aerial threat.
Kayla Morrison, owner of an A-League Women's hat-trick, a rarity for a centre-back. But that is her prowess from set pieces. Here's Kellon Knight's corner. Connected with by Ford, and now Yallop follows up. And sends it high and wide out for a goal kick, but part of wrestling back the control of the game will involve the territory battle.
And just trying to slow a bit of momentum that Arsenal have at the moment. As long as the All-Stars can keep a little possession in their attacking half here, and they too will want to play a high line.
McCabe was courageous, leaning in for the header. He might come back with interest here. Physical collision, and it allows Courtney Vine to steal a march. Vine with a little hand on the shoulder from McCabe, and now pulls off a nutmeg, squares it into the 6-yard box. And it's cleared away. Cooney Cross did the defensive work. Simon, early ball, can't spot up Heyman. Palova. Russo breaks out to the right, but Palova can't find her with the pass. He might have just caught "now we start" coming from Joe Montemuro. So encouraged by what he's just seen from the All-Stars team.
A lot of their attack, their play, the All-Stars, has actually come on this left-hand side through Morrison. Foster heavily involved in some of these opening passages as well.
Incisive pass here from Palova. Russo was trying to square it for Ford, intercepted by Stott. Russo gets another chance. Stott again the obstacle, and then Kellon Knight uses her trusty left foot to hook it away. Foster stops it going out for a throw. Two opportunities there for Alessia Russo, perhaps unselfish with both of them. And now the game starts to become a bit more stretched in end-to-end. Vine with an early ball. Heyman, 1-on-2. And a few more come back in the Arsenal defence to help out. The All-Stars, not quite as many numbers in support. Vine through the right, and McCabe watches it and watches it out for a goal kick.
And they might be some of the moments the All-Stars are going to have to look for tonight. An early ball over the top. It was a good switch from Kaya Simon that found space on the opposite side of the field, and then the early ball through to Michelle Heyman as well.
Space to dictate from midfield for Palova. Found Caitlin Ford, cuts it back inside. Kim Little. A rare errant touch. Kim Little has 86 goals in 180 league appearances for Arsenal. A phenomenal strike rate for a midfielder. But normally it's by taking better touches than that.
Yeah, disappointing first touch there from Kim Little, and she'll be the first to put her hand up and acknowledge that. Great late run into the box.
And again, end to end, the game really opening up now. Courtney Vine cuts onto her left side. Just couldn't quite generate the power, and picked up by Sarah Bahati. And they haven't really been able to test the French legend just yet. 149 caps for France. Sarah Bahati was on the Arsenal books briefly during the season just finished, but ultimately released on a free transfer, only to be re-signed for this trip to Australia. 37 years of age, 8-time winner of the Champions League. Few players with a better trophy cabinet in football. Forward, outside of the boot, pass was clever. Russo! Offside. Groans around Marvel Stadium.
Good call there from the assistant referee, and a thumbs up from Alessia Russo. Almost timed the run to perfection, but you can see she's just made her way past the All-Stars defence into an offside position. Really caught the All-Stars by surprise.
Stop. Square ball. Kellon Knight gives possession away. Has to go back and try to clean up. Arm in arm, drag Russo to the ground. Advantage given. Palova has Leah on the right. Vivian Leah, first time ball, lifts it up, and it's batted away. Williams found Yallop. And now Vine can advance into the space. Courtney Vine. It's 2-on-2 if the All-Stars are quick enough. Still going Vine. And that is excellent defending. Listen to the roar as Steph Catley is able to turn defence into attack. And perhaps buoyed by that noise, she tried to run the length of the pitch and says to Vivian Leah, "This is my moment, this is my hometown. Where's the return pass?"
Well, when you talk about world-class defending, that moment there from Steph Catley, she had the likes of Courtney Vine. We know how fast she is. Vine had driven inside, and Catley just picked her time, poised and composed as ever. Was able to nip in front, turn the direction around for Arsenal.
Not a prolific scorer for Arsenal, Steph Catley. 100 appearances in the league for 4 goals. Just the one in 32 appearances in all competitions in the season just gone. Most recent coming against Manchester City on the 5th of November, so she'd love a goal here on this stage. Of course, played for both Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City as she came through the A-League Women's. Playing 127 matches, winning a number of championships. And breaking through into the Matildas as a teenager as she did so. Well, Grace, with just over 10 minutes until half-time, it feels as though we've got a real bit of competitive balance in the game now.
Yeah, certainly Arsenal started with a lot of dominance. You'd say they still are generally in control of the game, but just haven't been able to break through with that definitive moment. Some moments of desperation defence from the All-Stars as well. The game's largely been played on the Arsenal's terms. Possession heavily in their favour.
Of course, both teams with plenty on the bench. It'll be interesting to see what the substitution strategy is from both sides. Arsenal with a few training sessions after travelling across the globe for this match. Palova. Cooney Cross. Roaming through the middle of Marvel Stadium, Cooney Cross. Hands it out to McCabe, who just had to double back and stop the ball, but now finds Caitlin Ford, isolated one-on-one against Stott. McCabe. And Alana Cerna's stuck to her task here and doesn't allow McCabe to swing it across. Catley. Little. Reed to Leah. Combination of the two 17-year-olds. You can see the comfort with which they link up. The amount of time they must spend as teammates in both the Arsenal youth system but also the England underage teams. Cool. Around the corner. And then Palova, Russo, Little. Still Kim Little. And just couldn't free the feet for a shot. And then Russo with the first touch that requires a chase, but McCabe sends the ball to Ford. Wave after wave of attack at the moment. Ford cuts inside. Little sends it back outside the penalty area. And then Catley perhaps with the right pass, but McCabe just got faked out by the defender running into her line of sight and ultimately couldn't chase it down.
I have to say the All-Stars defence has done well there against Caitlin Ford. There's been a few occasions Ford has put the ball at her feet. She's just trying to find half a yard of space to get across in. Alana Cern closes down the space well. Coming across is Rebecca Stott for cover. They've had to be disciplined in moments.
Michaela Foster was in the college system in America and then broke into the New Zealand national team after coming back. Was on the fast track to the Women's World Cup. I believe she's only got the 13 caps. It feels as though, like any established Kiwi international, she'll go on to win many more. Ford shot from distance was going to find its way through a sea of legs. Russo from a wide position. Cooney cross. Cool. Just a bit of a gentle touch. But the All-Stars can't escape. Leah. Palova. Now Little. Catley's pass. Palova. Lifts it out to the right. Leah. Touch takes her away from the penalty area. Cooney cross in space. A driving flat cross which is headed away. Heyman's off and running ahead of the ball. Courtney Vine finds Heyman now. Heyman holds things up, waits for runners to break. Unable to find a teammate though. Pleading to the referee that she had her ankles tapped. In the meantime, Arsenal come away with the ball. Ford. Cool. Some fans urging her to shoot. Decides to go wide. Leah swings it in. And there's the goal. Arsenal score through Alessia Russo. It had been coming. And it's the English striker that broke Matilda's hearts in the World Cup semi-final, who finds the back of the net here to give Arsenal a 1-0 lead against the All-Stars.
Well, it was building for Arsenal, and it just had to be Alessia Russo in her first season with the Gunners. She's been fantastic tonight. She's been everywhere. She's been busy. It's a well-measured cross by Leah, and it had to be. But Russo has met that really well, redirected it across the face of goal, and it's a well-taken finish.
Goals in 31 total appearances in her first Arsenal season after moving from Manchester United. That's what it meant on the sidelines. And so it is 1-0 to the Arsenal, thanks to Alessia Russo. And now the Gunners have a taste for goals and perhaps a taste for more. Russo to Little. Can they make it two in the blink of an eye? Ford. McCabe. Russo waiting in the penalty area, but the cross isn't coming. Stott with the attempted clearance. Grace, we've spoken at length about how the All-Stars were defending, how they were trying to get into the game. What about Arsenal's attack? You're happy with the variety of how they've attempted to find that breakthrough goal?
I think the point of difference for that finish was the quality of delivery that came from out on the right-hand side from Vivian Leah. Alessia Russo, smart player, just found her space in between two of the All-Stars defenders. The service was excellent. And when we've got a team that largely pull in numbers back to defend, as the All-Stars have had to do, we have to find variety, find quality on those crosses into the box, and moments like that, plays at the class of Alessia Russo, they don't miss.
So a handful of minutes remaining in regulation of the first half. Arsenal will feel as though they've had a reward for their chances created. This is on the All-Stars to show us what they can do in terms of a response. Yallop. Break through a couple of players, but then gifted the ball back. Cooney Cross. It was one Matilda to another. But ultimately, Cooney Cross's pass slides long for a goal kick.
A couple of those wayward passes in the middle of the park as well, just not quite meeting the right side of the body for the All-Stars team. On that occasion, could have been punished. Cooney Cross's pass was a little misunderstood.
Little chasing the ball around the penalty area. The All-Stars looking to play their way out. Simon, Yallop. This is a nice little build-up they've got going here. Yallop takes the meters on offer and then distributes out to Vine. Courtney Vine hangs it up for Heyman. And the follow-up, Chidiac. Sends it back out of the box. Yallop with a shot on the turn. And it ends up in the gloves of Bahati.
Well, there's those moments, the quick transition, the early ball over the top, putting Arsenal on their heels. Michelle Heyman just half a step away, but the idea was right. Tried to nip in front of her opposition player to meet that cross.
Pace picking up again with just seconds left in the half. Ford resumes her duel with the All-Stars defence, hits the byline, and then can't find a way past Rebecca Stott. Deflected clearance. Arsenal take back over. Leah. Cool. Low cross, knocked away by Morrison. Simon. It's been a tough half for Kaya Simon. She's normally a natural goal scorer, has spent much of it in defence, and we're going to see a sub here so that Marvel Stadium gets the chance to acknowledge the fantastic career of Lydia Williams. At 36 years of age, 103 caps, 5 FIFA Women's World Cups. She's announced her international retirement after the Olympics. Let's just drink in this ovation as she's thanked by her Matilda's teammates.
Well, it's a well-deserved standing ovation for a national treasure of our game, and a player that's long stood for parts of the game bigger than herself, but her impact and contribution cannot be overstated. And fair to say, Lydia Williams leaves the game in a better place than she found it. An immense career and one of the game's absolute best.
Fantastic acknowledgement for Lydia Williams and Jada Wyman. Sydney FC's championship-winning goalkeeper comes on. Big night for Jada Wyman, of course. Chance to show what she can do. Was actually the subject of some transfer rumours attaching her to Arsenal some months ago. Still yet to make that move overseas after what has been to date 105 exemplary games, 4-time PFA Team of the Season. Picture of consistency wearing sky blue for Sydney FC. Getting to come on and replace a legend in Lydia Williams. And immediately might be called into action here. Good leave by Cool. Pelova! Blocked away. Plenty of bodies in the road. And the 1 minute of additional time at the end of the first half is already up and then some. It'll be fascinating to see what substitutes do to this game in the second half, especially given the youth and inexperience on the Arsenal bench. Perhaps that will be a road back into the game for the All-Stars here, because it's been Arsenal's half. And as the two teams head to the rooms, it's been a tough lesson for many of the A-League All-Stars players about how to defend against world-class talent. Alessia Russo, the English centre-forward, was able to break the deadlock. And at the other end of the experience scale, the 17-year-old Vivian Leah was one of the live wires. She had the assist that led to the goal. It's been entertaining so far. You can't help but feel that there's more on the way. Arsenal 1, A-League All-Stars 0.
Good man, Teo, as you said there, Arsenal 1, A-League All-Stars 0. Alessia Russo does it again after a fantastic cross in there by Leah. We're going to talk everything that happened in that first half on the other side of this break. You don't want to miss it. Stadium, where the scoreboard reads A-League All-Stars 0, Arsenal 1. And that was the moment, one moment before half-time, where Lydia Williams bid farewell. And what a moment that was. Welcome back, as I said, to Marvel Stadium. It is the Hungry Jacks half-time show. Melissa Barbereri, what a first half of football that was already, and that beautiful touching moment by Lydia Williams.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to send off a great goalkeeper, someone who's done so much for our game on and off the pitch. I mean, she's played over 100 games for the Matildas, over 100 games in the A-Leagues. What a fitting way to send her off at Marvel Stadium.
Yeah, it really was great. Now, we didn't get as many goals in the first half as we did in the first game, but we got one, and what a goal it was. Beautiful cross in there by Vivian, and what a finish.
Yeah, it was a beautiful cross in by Vivian Leah. And of course, Alessia Russo in the 6-yard box. You don't give her that much time and space. Stoddy has been absolutely brilliant in that back line, but she couldn't do anything about that formidable header.
I was about to say she broke her heart like she did in the World Cup. I forget we're not talking Matildas here, but it sounds like it. The amount of Arsenal fans in here today is unreal. But of course, we have so much quality on our All-Stars team as well. Maybe we can talk a little bit about Courtney Vine.
Yeah, it's been a tough match for Courtney Vine. She really is a transitional player. So when Pep Montemuro actually spoke about playing a possession-based football game, I was a bit worried that Courtney Vine wouldn't be able to get into the game. But as you can see, her speed and her dominance on the ball, her ability to turn players inside out and to create opportunities for not only herself but other players on the team. Once she gets inside that penalty, you know that you can't foul her, or else it's a penalty. So when she gets her body in those sort of situations, when she can get her head up and cross the ball in, I mean, Heyman was only a foot off that being a quality finish.
It really has been a quality first half. We might not have had as many goals as the first game, certainly not as many chances, but in terms of intensity, the pace, the aggression that's been in it, Katie McCabe is going through people like no one's business.
She
and
is.
I'm all about it. I absolutely love it.
She is. It's almost like she's been contracted to. Everyone wants the yellow card to be pulled out because, it's not a game without Katie McCabe getting a yellow card.
Can we get back into the second half?
Oh, we certainly can. We've got some amazing players to come in off the bench. I mean, Rihanna Polisina, Hannah Wilkinson. There's so many players that can come on and score goals. Now, let's not forget Sophie Harding, our Player of the Year. She can bang a few in, especially from long range.
There we go. I cannot wait to see it. Second half is coming up after the break. That is the end of the Hungry Jacks halftime show. You do not want to miss it. Look at that beautiful Victorian sky. Unbelievable being down here in Melbourne. I'm loving it. Who needs London when you've got Melbourne? Like I said, come back to the other side of the break. You're going to catch the second half of this A-League All-Stars versus Arsenal. Hello there and welcome back to Marvel Stadium, where a 39-minute Alessia Russo goal separates the teams at the interval. Mr. Barbieri, what do you think needs to happen in the second half for the All-Stars to get back into it?
Well, I think Joe Montemurro really needs to start using that transition football a little bit better, probably releasing players a lot earlier, where Michelle Heyman and Courtney Vine can exploit space in behind the Arsenal defence, because Arsenal are holding possession well inside their front third. So once you win the ball back, how fast can you transition into that forward momentum and get Michelle Heyman and Courtney Vine into the other end, 18-yard box, and put some finishes on goal? I think some substitutions will come on. Rihanna Polsina is more of a possession-based midfielder. She can hold the ball up. She can link players in a lot better than we've been seeing tonight. But I actually think the girls have been absolutely tremendous in their effort and their attitude, and the way they've been really bringing this game to Arsenal. So hopefully they can continue that for this second half.
Right, so they're the goods I wanted to hear. Thank you for that. The second half is 1 minute away.
Welcome back to Marvel Stadium in the Docklands precinct of Melbourne, where Arsenal have made their way around the world to take on the A-League Women's All-Stars. And at half-time, they lead 1-0. Expect many substitutions in this second half. We're about to see a couple right now. Rihanna Polsina, the number 9 from Melbourne City, and Danica Matos, the number 2 from Western Sydney Wanderers. Arsenal have Chloe Lacasse, Frida Marnham and Taya Goldie ready to come on. It looks like they might have a fourth substitution ready to go as well. So we'll keep track of all of those for you here. It's going to be busier than Southern Cross Station at the other end of the footbridge once all these subs start to come and go. There is Frida Marnham, Norwegian international who played against Australia in the 2019 World Cup. It's coming off her busy season with 8 goals in 32 appearances. There's Taya Goldie to kickstart her career after consecutive knee reconstructions. But first, subs for the A-League Women's All-Stars. Tamiki Allen, we'll see her in a week's time on Matilda's duty. She makes way for Rihanna Polsina. And on comes Danica Matos. What a moment for her. The 24-year-old never represented Australia at any level. She gets her shot here in the second half. Emily Fox, the United States international, who's played against the Matildas a couple of times. In her first campaign with Arsenal, having only just joined at the beginning of the calendar year. Chloe Lacasse, no stranger to the Matildas, actually scored against them late last year. She's played against them 5 times in her fledgling international career for Canada. Taya Goldie also coming on, along with Frida Marnham. So we'll see exactly what that does to the game. Making all these subs at half-time, maybe a little less disruptive than making them in the run, but they won't be the last of the subs, we will see. Big moment for Goldie. No league appearances this season, 2 a couple of seasons ago. Only just returned for the Arsenal under-21s in April, so definitely looking for minutes in the legs. Kyra Cooney-Cross pondering what she can do in this second half, and the 4th official, Georgia Ghirardello, here has just run out to deliver a message to Casey Rybelt. Hopefully it's that the ball is pumped up and we can get the second half started without any of the dramas that afflicted the first. So 45 minutes more of All-Stars football here at Marvel Stadium. Can the Liberty A-League All-Stars make a comeback? Will Arsenal go on to win in this first ever game for the All-Stars of the A-League Women's? Grace Gill, former Matilda, as you rejoin me, what do you expect 4 subs for Arsenal and 2 for the All-Stars will do to the ebb and flow of the game?
That's a great question, Teo, and interested to see how those 4 subs for the Arsenal just shake in over the next couple of minutes. Understandably, the long travel, needing to rest and play around. You do have the flexibility in some of these exhibition matches to do exactly that. Just 2 changes for the All-Stars so far, but I've got no doubt we'll see them start to flush through as the second half wears on and change the dynamic of the game.
Matos has gone in at right back, replacing Alana Cern. And Polisina has slotted right into midfield, maybe a slightly more advanced position than the one Tamiki Yallop was taking up, which has pushed Alex Chidiac a little bit further back in the midfield setup. See Chloe Lacasse there coming on for Victoria Pelliver, who was one of the players keeping things ticking over for Arsenal as they dominated possession and territory in that first half. And here is Lacasse almost immediately, but shut down by Michaela Foster. And the long ball just to clear the lines, and Goldie here running and sweeping out onto the ball. And you hear a few cheers for Taya Goldie, because Grace, back-to-back ACL reconstructions, 2 league appearances, and at just 19 years of age. There's no shortage of Australians who know that same unfortunate feeling.
Yeah, a great occasion for Taya Goldie, and wonderful as well to see her back playing more regular football. The England under-19 international, so she's got great quality.
Forward, swinging flanks over to the right side. Fox getting forward. Bring it back to Kim Little. And then a good physical stand-up challenge from Kayla Morrison. Morrison perhaps relishing the chance to defend against Fox. 47 cap US international. This time it's America versus Canada here.
Good strength shown on the ball there from Kayla Morrison. Chloe Lacasse, fresh legs coming on. She's 30 years old, but as mentioned, vastly experienced with the Canadian women's national team, and plays an interesting role in Arsenal. Not always a starter for the side, but often coming on for a few minutes here or there.
Pass attempted to be forced through by Ford. Well, you mentioned Lacasse, Grace. She actually received Icelandic citizenship and was on the verge of switching to Iceland, only for Canada to say, no, please play for the nation of your birth and your origin. And then she went on an absolute tear for Benfica, including scoring against Barcelona in the Champions League. It was a bit of a late bloomer. All of a sudden found herself being signed by Arsenal in the WSL. She won't get the chance to link up with the attack here because the offside flag has gone up.
Well, it is a great story for Lacasse, a player who, as you mentioned, a late bloomer, but playing at one of the best teams in the world now, in amongst the best players, and gets moments and opportunities like this one.
Jana Wyman subbed on at the end of the first half for Lydia Williams. Polisina, now Foster. Trying to use that left foot to conjure something, but the pass is intercepted by Reed. Now here's Frida Marnham, a great spin. Just a forcefully hit pass, which still required a one grab from Wyman to make sure it didn't bobble into the path of Caitlin Ford.
Really good turn there by Marnham, just showing all her experience, really good use of the body. Was able to roll off a couple of defenders, the Norwegian.
And here's a foul committed on Alex Chidiac by the Dane Cool. Of course, Chidiac and Cool did battle in 2022 in a friendly where Australia won 3-1. It would set the tone for when they would meet the Women's World Cup. Australia winning the round of 16, tied 2-0. Had their measure in recent years. Here's Ford trying to dance around the A-League Women's All-Stars and Danica Matos. That'll be a confidence-building first touch for her. Able to repel initially, and now the ball goes out. Matos, 68 appearances in the A-League Women's. Another Wollongong product, Illawarra Stingrays, on her way up. And it would be a great thrill for her marking Caitlin Ford here on that side of the pitch.
Well, it's fantastic for Danica Matos, and just reward as well for what was a really standout season at the Western Sydney Wanderers. A hard-working player. She's a real athlete, has a great engine and the ability to get up and down along the flank across 90 minutes plus.
And it's one-on-one defending. It's that reputation for being hard to beat, which has helped her catch the eye of the A-League Women's All-Stars, the coach Joe Montemuro, the fan vote as well, which played a role in getting this team selected. Kayla Morrison, for so long a fan favourite of not just the Melbourne Victory but all around the league. Arsenal with a chance here. Foster caught out of position, and so they can exploit the flank. The early shot. The cast there with a bit of a shoot-on side approach, and that was an easy collect for Jana Wyman.
Good too for Wyman to get a clean set of hands on the ball. Confident touches. Coming off the back of another fantastic season with Sydney FC here in Australia.
Be potentially called into action here again though, because Arsenal are starting to win the ball back in advanced territory. That's left the defence pinned back at the edge of the box. Foster, Polisina, Kim Little there. Goldie, and now McCabe. The switch comes. Caitlin Ford was being fed the ball to her flank repeatedly in that first half and was often facing two defenders every time she received a pass. Cooney Cross trying to slalom through, and now Ford receives the ball. Has Matos to contend with. Ford, and is able to win a corner.
Well, much like the first half, it just feels as though it's starting to build for Arsenal again this half. Some tidy passages of play. Caitlin Ford so productive down that left-hand side, and moments earlier, Katie McCabe with some good touches inside as she drove towards the middle of the field.
Cooney Cross, in-swinging corner, headed away by Morrison. And now Vine is the most advanced All-Stars player with it all to do. End-to-end attempted a counter-attack. Step around. Kellon Knight out of traffic. Chidiac has to concede some territory. Now Morrison growing in confidence from the centre of defence. Kaya Simon back to Chidiac. Went to ground and no foul forthcoming. Arsenal breakaway. Marnham. Ford. Flag goes up. Appeared to run into an offside position, and the referee duly flagged.
Caitlin Ford had continued her run while the All-Stars defence just propped for a moment. You see there, it's not by much, but it's enough.
Well, big moment here for the All-Stars as the reigning Julie Dolan medalist Sophie Harding is subbed on for the 2011 Julie Dolan medalist Kaya Simon. And Harding, who is still waiting for that first Matilda's cap, but has had a taste of Matilda's camp, comes on here. She is an English passport holder, along with the Republic of Ireland, so a good showing here, and you just never know who might be on the other end of the next phone call. Really, what the All-Stars need is a goal from anywhere, and perhaps Harding, off the back of her breakout season in the A-League Women's, might be the player to provide it. 12 goals in 20 appearances, got her the medal as the best player in the competition.
Well, the best season yet here in Australia. Really stood up in a big way for her Western Sydney Wanderers team under Robbie Hooker. She looked revitalised.
The Wanderers took the opportunity yesterday to announce that she's signed a new 2-year contract extension, but that's not the first touch Harding might have been hoping for off the bench. Back pass here. Heyman goes chasing Bahati, cool as you like. Ball pops up, Stott Heyman, back to Stott through the middle, just a little bit too much on it. And Bahati able to collect before Pollicina became a factor.
The idea is certainly right from the All-Stars, and it's the kind of contribution that Ariana Pollicina can make. A little bit of innovation, nice touch too from Heyman. Final pass from Stott, just a little weight behind it, a little too much weight behind it rather.
Here's Golding. And then Cool, almost coughed up possession, deflects into a contest. And through comes Morrison, striding out from the centre of defence. Morrison over the top, McCabe stops any attempted pass to find Courtney Vine. Cool, forward. Sizes up Matos and decides to jag inside, but there's company there. And Pollicina backtracking, in concert with Foster able to clear. And Goldie will pass all the way back to Bahati. Actually played against the Matildas 3 times in her career, Sarah Bahati, but the most recent was back in 2018. Didn't go to the 2023 Women's World Cup, of course, where you might recall Australia played France in the quarter-final. I don't think I'm testing anyone's memory bringing up that game. If you are new and you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. Vine able to turn and try to play the ball to Matos, and an energetic slide challenge from Kyra Cooney-Cross. Those two were teammates briefly at the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, no love lost there. Cooney-Cross not taking a backward step. Gets the ball, an all ball. Fair challenge.
It's the part of Kyra's game which perhaps, Grace, we always knew about the quality of the dribbling, the touch, the ability to break the lines, but the defensive side of the game, that's something that's probably being honed and worked upon training session after training session with one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, I'd say so. The game's gone to another level. I think she's become much more physical, using her body really well.
And now Fox breaking down the right. Chance here for Marnham. Wheels away. Cooney-Cross. And now Marnham leaves the ball. The presence of the first half goal scorer, Alessia Russo, no longer there for Arsenal. But they seem to have a number of spot fires that could flare up at any given point in time across this forward line. McCabe. Little. Harding takes possession for the All-Stars. Staffed of options. The pass, it's not quite going to work out. It's hurried down the line, and now Harding, perhaps 15 metres further up than before, finds herself stuck in a 1-on-2. Fox extracted the ball. Little. Ford calls for it over on the left, and that's where it goes. Caitlin Ford, can she free the feet for a shot? Ford went for it at the near post, and Jada Wyman was equal to it.
Well, alert to the task, Jada Wyman. Nice clean hands to keep a hold of this strike as well. Ford just picked that tight angle. The space was there, but as was Wyman. Positioned well.
Cooney-Cross wins the battle against Chidiac in midfield. And now Lacasse, the Canadian speedster, able to burn past Foster, doubles back. Didn't like a pass that she wanted to go for initially, so Arsenal just recycled the play, slow things down. We're about to make a goalkeeper sub here, Arsenal. We're about to see the last of Sarah Bahati. Backup keeper Naomi Williams, who's never made a first team appearance, not in the league, not in the cup, is going to come on and play for the Arsenal here. She'd love the team to have a 2-goal cushion before she does. And the ball won't quite go out for her. Clever from Vine, but it might be too clever by half because McCabe is breaking into the box. And it's hooked away. Chidiac fouled, and perhaps with that foul we might now see the change go through. So Naomi Williams, who's been with the Arsenal Academy since 13 years of age. She's now 19, and this will be a big thrill for her, getting to come on to represent the club. And she'll replace the French legend, 149 cap Sarah Bahati.
Well, huge moment, huge opportunity for the youngster Williams. The 18-year-old coming on for the 37-year-old and changing of the guard.
And as this sub goes through, Michael Zapote has a special guest down at ground level.
I do indeed. I have Joe Montemuro with me. Still well in this game, Joe. What do you want to see in the second half?
Yeah, we're probably sitting a little bit too low, and you can see obviously the physicalities of the tempo and so on. But if we can sort of probably even be a little bit higher, a little bit braver, I think we'll get something. We've got a trigger to do it, so hopefully we'll start it from here.
And you've got some firepower coming on in the second half as well with some of those substitutions you've made?
Yeah, some of the substitutions will come on in the next few minutes, so hopefully we'll be able to be a little bit higher.
Thanks for joining us.
All the best.
Thank you to the All-Stars coach, Joe Montemuro. Of course, a free agent as of the full-time whistle tonight as well, having finished up with Juventus, where he won the Serie A and 2 Coppa Italia. Of course, he was previously the Arsenal manager, winning the WSL in 2018-19 and also the League Cup. And he's also won an A-League Women's Championship with Melbourne City.
Not a bad CV, Montemuro, and a bit of a full circle moment for him too.
Oh, I don't forget, he started out at Sunshine George Cross and then Coburg United. He's a Melbourne man. Got his pro licence over in Italy, and the rest was history. Here come Arsenal. And it's Reed, the defender, getting forward. What a confidence-boosting night this must be for her. Made her WSL debut against Bristol City right at the tail end of the season. And these minutes look like they'll be priceless in her development. Now from the opposite flank, cool, it's dangerous for the All-Stars. Bouncing around the penalty area, Harding caught in possession initially, and then a pass to no one in particular, just finds the safety of the line.
Well, Catherine Cool as well has been really lively for Arsenal. Earmarked as the future of the game in Denmark. You can understand why. Exceptionally technical player. Great understanding of the game. She's been very busy tonight.
McCabe trying to pop it over the middle, and the header slides on. One thing I have noticed tonight, Grace, about Arsenal is they always look for the pass through the middle. It seems as though no one's hiding from the ball. There always seems to be an option on for that incisive pass, as Courtney Vine here is often chasing, but the debutant goalkeeper Williams is out of the area to play sweeper keeper.
I think that's the thing when you've got players the likes of Kim Little, Kyra Cooney-Cross, really technical players on the ball. You can understand why they look for that pass through the middle.
All-Stars working the flank effectively, Chidiac and Vine. Was there a touch from the Arsenal defender? There wasn't. Well done by Katie McCabe to see it out for a goal kick.
Well, it has been an interesting battle between these two tonight. Courtney Vine against Katie McCabe. Courtney Vine hasn't really been able to find a breakthrough. A couple of occasions afforded herself a little bit of space, but McCabe is such an intelligent, such a quality defender. She's largely been able to close down those moments.
Of course, the Republic of Ireland only qualifying for a World Cup for the first time in 2023. Narrow loss to Australia. Narrow loss to Canada. Marnham. Speaking of Canada, here's Lacasse. Looking to roam down that right flank and run at Michaela Foster again. Sends it central. Cool. Has Kellon Knight to contend with. Now Little buzzing, but can't find a way past. Diagonal ball. Caitlin Ford has been the option on so many occasions. Ford jags onto the right side and had a shooting window open. It's been deflected away for a corner.
The desperation defence there from Alex Chidiac, and had to be as well. Caitlin Ford has been searching for that space all night. This time just sizes up her options. A couple of touches on the right, then a drop of the shoulder. And the last-ditch challenge from Chidiac came through at just the right time.
So Kyra Cooney-Cross again will look to hone in on Jada Wyman's net. Bit of pointing going on in the All-Stars defence. Who's marking who? Cooney-Cross's corner, driven in at the near post this time, and Polisina half volleys away. Good initiative from Heyman, won the ball. And now the All-Stars can break. Polisina sends it back to Heyman. Heyman tried to prod it through. The follow-up from Polisina. And an important save for Williams. But the crowd showed their appreciation for a bit of attacking intent from the All-Stars.
Yeah, a much better sweeping move there from the All-Stars. Good direct play, numbers outside with both Heyman and Harding as options. Polisina doesn't meet that quite as sweetly as she would have liked, but nonetheless, you could feel the energy and the atmosphere lift as the All-Stars get themselves into those positions a little further advanced.
7 goals and 24 appearances for Rihanna Polisina in the season that just finished, where Melbourne City finished runners-up in the grand final after ending the home and away season as premiers. Polisina scored one of those 7 goals in the decisive 2-1 win against Perth Glory on the final day of the season. Foster's got to be careful not to get caught in possession going the other way. He's desperately holding off Lacasse. And now it's been coughed up by Morrison to Cool, but Cool immediately gives it back. Foster hooked it down the line, but it had already gone out for a throw. And we're going to see more changes. Mackenzie Hawkesby, who was voted by the media as player of the match in the grand final for Sydney FC, is going to come on for Elise Kellon Knight. And Grace Maher, the Canberra stalwart, who traded one set of green for another by playing for Western United in the summer just gone, is going to come on here as well. And a big opportunity for 2 players. They're both 24 years of age, that fit in the demographic of players who will be hoping that the A-League Women's can turn full-time professionals sooner rather than later, as they look to continue forging on as league-leading players. Oh, nearly an own goal in the meantime. Lucks a fortune for Rebecca Stott.
Stott had to get that right. Running back towards your own goal to defend, very hard to do. And interesting now to see as well where Grace Maher will slot in. A midfielder for large parts of her career at Canberra, but played at the centre of defence this season with Western United, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And we know Mackenzie Hawkesby, a real workhorse in the middle of the park.
Just over 20 minutes to go. Endurance is Hawkesby's game, so perhaps that's why we will see her on to try and break the lines and start some counter-attacks. Here's the corner, in swinger, dealt with and booted away by Matos. Here's Fox. Back out to the corner, taking McCabe. Wants that trusty left foot. Drops it on the penalty spot. Morrison heads it away. Cool. Heyman. And now Hawkesby, first touch off the bench. Polisina to Harding. Heyman wants the ball over the top. Harding heard the shout. Attempted the Hollywood through ball, but it needed to beat 4 Arsenal defenders. And now Fox is running down the right flank. Cuts it inside, Lacasse. Cooney Cross just spins away and finds an extra metre of space. Cool. McCabe. Forward. And now Cool, a great underlapping run, and the cutback is intercepted, but Stott's got to go chasing. Forwards at the edge of the box. And then slid in a little overzealously on Hawkesby.
There's still a fair bit happening down the left-hand side for Arsenal's attacking outlets. Forward still heavily involved. Good underlapping run by Cool, and this challenge perhaps just a little late coming through from Ford.
It's another Wollongong on Wollongong contest there. Hawkesby, one of a number of players that have broken into the A-League Women's, a real purple patch for the region. They don't have a team of their own, but they've basically got Sydney FC on lock with a number of players coming from that region to represent the Sky Blues. McCabe, ball over the top, but Martin's run short-circuited by Stott's header. Morrison pops it over the top, right up the middle for Michelle Heyman. And Williams able to hold on. Cooney Cross. Have got themselves into a spot of bother at the top of their own penalty area, but Kim Little is able to show her strength and keep her feet, and that was the difference in keeping possession as well.
I think fair to say a few moments across the course of the evening there's a level of physicality that this Arsenal side have, really strong on the ball.
Forward, Marnham doubles back away from the target, outside the box even. McCabe, Ford and Marnham again. Very slick pass to try and run down. Ford got there before the line. However, it does find its way out. And Kyra Cooney Cross is down. And she doesn't look too flustered, but certainly with Matilda's duty about to start, there will be keen eyes from all corners of the country on this as the trainers go out to assess, and the stretching would suggest that it is only cramp.
Yeah, it looked as though she did just say cramp there, and although she's heavily involved in this Arsenal side, hasn't played a huge number of minutes across recent games. It just takes a moment for cramp, and for a few of the players won't mind a quick drinks break. Just clip the heel there, and I think that may have been what it set it off for Cooney Cross.
Cooney Cross, 23 caps, 40 caps I should say, still yet to score for Australia. Was such a prolific goal scorer when she came through her juniors here in Melbourne, playing for Stefan Busso's NTC team. 2017 was the real breakout season. She got onto the radar of the young Matildas, and it's just gone from strength to strength ever since. Melbourne victory, a season at the Wanderers, back to victory, off to Hammarby in Sweden, and then Arsenal came calling, and well, she just has that cheeky grin at the best of times, and she's loving the attention of the big screen here, and all eyes on her here at Marvel Stadium.
Well, she's become a real character in this Arsenal women's side. A young player in the group. It's well looked after, well taken care of. It's great to see.
Let's go back to the first half. Vivian Lear and Alessia Russo, both since subbed out of the game, Grace, but that's the difference between the teams, and it is only the one goal the difference at the moment.
Yeah, we have to remember that as well. Just the one separating the two, and what was a really quality piece of play. I thought Vivian Leah made a great contribution for a young player, and Arsenal perhaps missed that target into this second half without Russo on the field.
I think it's banter all round here. The stretch has come out. It hasn't been required. Cooney Cross is making the trainers laugh here. She's full of giggles too. Ultimately, a sub's going to go through. It's the end of the Matilda Stars night, and it's a great moment here for 17-year-old Layla Harbert. Just last week, she was playing in the UEFA Under-17 final for England. Spain won the final, but Harbert was captaining England. And she's yet to make her first-team debut, the England Under-17 international. So, again, another big moment for one of the academy products on tour here with the senior team.
And certainly a name to remember. A few of these young academy players, whether it be with Arsenal or teams for years to come.
Lacasse looks up at a wall of All-Stars defenders. That Cooney Cross injury really broke the momentum of the game. Almost felt like a interval of its own. And now Mackenzie Hawkesby is back up and running. Sets Heyman a task. Goldie first to the ball and confidently peels away from the Matilda's striker. Fox drops the shoulder, moves into the midfield. Here's McCabe. Forward. Tries for another burst of acceleration, but Matos matches it this time. And Grace Maher came over, and Ford tried to hurdle through the gauntlet, but couldn't find a way.
And two, we're largely seeing Michelle Heyman up top, isolated for the All-Stars. A lot of defending being done. And Heyman, more often than not, the sole target the All-Stars are trying to find.
And so another couple of substitutions here. Michelle Heyman, that's her last act in the game. Very like-for-like substitution with Hannah Wilkinson coming on. And Courtney Vine is off for Princess Ibini, another of the members of Sydney FC's A-League Women's champion team. Congratulations to Courtney Vine. And she will report, like Heyman, for Matilda's duty starting in Adelaide next week. Arsenal have a double sub of their own lined up, but it's not going to go through, at least until we get one more phase of play. Wilkinson, first involvement off the benches to put the pressure on Goldie. And Matos here will try to usher the ball away, but Ford is going to pick her pocket. Now Matos's attention turns to defence. She's done well there, able to win the free kick.
Yeah, well managed there by Matos. The first time, just allowed Ford back in to pinch the ball from him, but second time of asking. Got down nice and low. She's done well.
Foster dispossessed. Lacasse just hassled it away. Cool. Ford. And a bender held onto by Wyman. Caitlin Ford has done everything but score in this game, but still can't find a way to apply the finishing touch.
Well, she's always busy. She's always energetic, Caitlin Ford. She's been heavily involved.
Now the cross comes in for Arsenal again. Maher hooks it away. Ibini, first touch off the bench. Little through the right channel. Lacasse. Marnham, bit of space. And the shot for Cool, but straight at the goalkeeper.
And they're the moments, Arsenal, they've got to make more of them. A narrow 1-0 lead at the moment. And of course, Teo, if this game does result in a draw, it's straight to penalties at the end.
Well, the chances are stacking up. If anything, Arsenal do look more likely for a second than the All-Stars look like an equaliser. They still have 2 more subs waiting in the wings to come on, but the other side of Arla's seen something he likes about the current setup out on the pitch. Harvard. Now forward. Kim Little is her number about to come up. Fox. Lacasse with the flick, asking a lot of cool. Hawkesby's going to play the ball, though, and play it straight back to Arsenal. Little. Lacasse being held up by Foster. Then Ma will put a foot on the ball. Wilkinson does the same, but it's only briefly in the All-Stars' possession.
That second ball as well, Arsenal really quick to collect, to pick up any loose pass or loose touch.
Harding taking a switch over to the right side. McCabe able to bustle her off the ball. And now forward from wide. Resumes her duel with Matos. And forward, cuts it back. Oh, Martin couldn't quite lunge out. Not sure if that's the pass or the attacker there, or a little bit of both.
Either way, really well worked once more by Caitlin Ford. That time she did get the cross in. A nice finesse about it as well. Didn't laser the ball across. A really neat cut back.
So Caitlin Ford is about to get a warm ovation from this Marvel crowd. And Catherine Cool is also coming off here. The 2 players coming on, 2 more youngsters. Freya Godfrey, 19 years old. Just the 2 league appearances. Spent the season just finished on loan at Charlton Athletic. And also Maddie Earle, 17 years old, an England under-19 international. Has been with Arsenal from age 7. Maddie Earle, after joining from Colchester. Grace, a thought or 2 on Caitlin Ford's performance tonight?
Well, energetic, busy, really involved in everything for Arsenal going forward. And she always is. She always plays that kind of role, really involves herself, demands the attention of at least a couple of opposition defenders. And that's the quality of Caitlin Ford. Fortunately for Australians, she wears a Matilda shirt.
So 2 more experienced players go off, 2 more youngsters come on. At some point, will it swing the balance, and can the All-Stars try to use their seniority? In terms of average age, the All-Stars are now well out in front of the 11s that are on the pitch at present. But Arsenal have got the ball, and they've made it theirs for so much of tonight. Godfrey, first involvement off the bench. And nearly had the killer touch. Godfrey will get a second chance. And is able to win a corner. Well, just when Tanika Matos thought, I've seen off Caitlin Ford, on comes a fresh youngster with new ideas.
Well, the 19-year-old Godfrey, fresh legs, eager to please, eager to make an impact late into this game, and on account of those first couple of touches, looks likely to do so.
There's a look from inside the net that Jada Wyman is defending. Cooney Cross has been subbed out of the game, so now it's Katie McCabe from both sides on corner duty. The outswinger is up, and even though it was first head Arsenal, it's been cleared away. Harvard. Now Fox. Goldie and Harbert and Arsenal's youth linking up here. Oh, compelling shout for a penalty kick, but it's just a corner. Kayla Morrison knocked over Godfrey. Not too much protesting.
We've got contact with the ball. Casey Rybert had a look, had a think. But not enough in that one for me. Nonetheless, Godfrey has been impactful Just the couple of minutes she's been on the field.
The game was ticked into the final 5 minutes of regulation. Still just the one Alessia Russo goal in the first half between the teams, even though Arsenal have arguably been more dominant in the second half. McCabe in swinger, and Morrison got first header. Ma pops it up into space. Harding into the ball by Fox. Earl twisting and turning. Martin went for the return ball. Stott. Fox plays it back to Reed. Now Reed finds herself in a contest against Harding. Last touch off the English defender. And so the All-Stars have the ball just inside their attacking half. Wilkinson. And time in possession was short-lived for the All-Stars. Now Arsenal are 3 minutes. We're finding out how much stoppage at the end of this one. Will the crowd get one last chance to roar? Earl. Goldie. To Williams, and Williams clears under pressure from Wilkinson. Abini went for glory from distance, and then on one bounce, well, Williams with a bit of a wince, but all's well that ends well for the young keeper.
What a moment that would have been as well for Princess Abini. Just saw Williams off her line, didn't quite get the leverage on the shot she would have liked.
And now Arsenal able to play out through the front line of All-Stars attackers, and here goes Godfrey. A metre on Matos, who comes in to cut off the angle, and that's good last-ditch defending. Appears to have gone out for a corner kick, so all the hustle from Matos, but no luck to go with it.
Well, she's worked hard, Danica Matos. Mentioned her engines and her athleticism, and have certainly been called into action on a few occasions.
So Jada Wyman can see the tension written across the face. 90 seconds of regulation to go. Doesn't want to concede a second. McCabe hangs up the corner. Headed by Morrison, and now Hawkesby trying to turn and go. Just pops it over the top. Harding, a lone hand for the All-Stars in attack. Support now arrives. Hawkesby on for Wilkinson. Hannah Wilkinson, the Kiwi star. Can she finish? Great save! Williams might just have won it for the Arsenal.
A huge save. Hannah Wilkinson bearing down on goal. And you'd have to say the All-Stars' best opportunity of the night. It opened up really nicely.
Will that encourage the All-Stars on, though? They're about to find out how many minutes of stoppage time. You'd think for a friendly exhibition it wouldn't be more than a couple. Grace, here was the chance.
The ball through was excellent in terms of height of the shot. Although a good save from Williams. It's easier for a goalkeeper to make that in that area than it is on the ground. A great run from Wilkinson. But Williams was up to task.
It's a moment that Naomi Williams will never forget. If and when she goes on to make her competitive debut for the Arsenal first team, it'll be moments like that that no doubt live in the memory of the coaching staff. There's 4 more minutes for the All-Stars to give this a tilt, or for Arsenal to put a bow on it. Hawkesby won the ball. Foster pushing forward. Wilkinson hanging off the last defender. Foster looks further afield, and the ball rears up but is held onto by Williams.
or moments. Just moments. Football is made up of opportunities. And you think, had Wilkinson found the back of the net on that occasion, might they have been able to hold on for penalties? Young goalkeeper in Arsenal in Naomi Williams up against Jada Wyman, who's had a brilliant season for the Sky Blues.
Godfrey. Tried the through ball from deep, but couldn't beat the first defender. Ma, Hawkesby. Harding takes possession. Plays it back to Hawkesby in the midfield. Matos. And Ma, the All-Stars, can they get it moving in the right direction? Arsenal sitting about as deep as we've seen all game here. Their defence has dropped off just a little here, but it's not going to even be called into action yet, because the midfield are holding up pretty well. Goldie, confronted by Pollicino, but held her ground. And now Little, the veteran, marshalling all the youngsters around her. Fox. And Arsenal controlling the pace of the game. Half of stoppage time is up. Harvard. Reed, a full 90 for her. 17-year-old. Coming from the flank, it's back to Harbert. Little is there. Out to the wing, Lacasse. Still clear, Lacasse. And now Harbert. Marnham. And the ball is won back by Morrison. It was a 50-50 and Earl willed herself onto the ball. Finds the fellow youngster Godfrey. McCabe feeds it through. Cut back by Harbert. Hawkesby's pass, errant, straight to Kim Little. Last player that the All-Stars wanted to see on the ball. We tick into the final minute of 4 additional, and perhaps the Hannah Wilkinson chance is the last good one that the All-Stars will get. Little through the right, Lacasse off and chasing, and not able to keep it in. The All-Stars will have 30 seconds to try and go end-to-end. Cara Cooney Cross and Caitlin Ford seated on the bench. The crowd, they absolutely love them. Their night's just about to start. Selfies and autographs and all the rest in the post-match aftermath. That's the next hot ticket. So, last roll of the dice for the All-Stars. Seconds to go. Matos over the top. Goldie turns almost into trouble, but that might just do it. And Katie McCabe has the ball at her feet as Arsenal secure a very familiar scoreline. There's a reason they say 1-0 to the Arsenal. Alessia Russo, the England star, with the only goal. And in spite of the best efforts of the A-League Women's All-Stars, 19-year-old goalkeeper Naomi Williams came up with a big save. You see mutual respect there between All-Stars coach Joe Montemuro and Matilda Caitlin Ford. She had a great night, absolutely ran the rule down the flank. The only thing missing was a goal to show for her efforts. And so the first ever A-League Women's All-Stars game ends with Arsenal victorious. Arsenal 1, A-League All-Stars Women 0.
Thank you for that, Teo. Great commentary there for that game. And Melissa Barbieri, 1-0 it finished. Changes maybe just came a little bit too late in that game, I think.
Yeah, I think the changes at half-time really sparked some energy into the A-League All-Stars, and the final substitutions coming in a little bit later saw some energy from them off the bench. They knew what they needed to do to try and create some more chances. It was just unfortunate they ran out of time on the clock.
Yeah, I tell you, I really enjoyed that game. I know, like, there wasn't a lot of chances in it. It's mad to think that a 1-0 could top an 8-0. But I think it really did in terms of everything, in terms of the attendance that was here, in terms of the competitiveness of the game. And as we were talking about kind of off camera there as well, about just the intensity and the pace of the game, the pace and the quality of which Arsenal played at, and which the All-Stars equalled them.
Yeah, I think the challenges that the A-League All-Stars faced was that they don't play together all that much, and you can really see that final pass maybe lacking, a little bit of communication. The things that you get from being with the team for a lot longer, like Arsenal have, they had that in spades. So when you look at it, you know, it really was a matchup of intensity from the A-League All-Stars, trying to bring it to Arsenal, who are just that well-gelled team. So I give credit to the A-League All-Stars to have even a few chances by the end of the match. Hannah Wilkinson coming on and having an opportunity to equalise, but that young substitute Williams in goals did great to stop that foray. So it's about how much time they've spent together, and what they produced on the night is really commendable.
Right, so we'll chat about this a little bit more, but let's jump over to Zappa's now with some player reactions. Zappa.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tristan. I've got, well, I think the word legend can be used with Lydia Williams, because she's been a legend of the women's game here in Australia. 5 World Cups, 103 internationals for the Matildas. The list goes on and on. A very special moment. How was that for you, standing ovation here in front of over 40,000 here in Melbourne?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty overwhelming, but, you know, it's just a credit to see how far women's football has come in this country, and to have quality opposition come out and showcase, you know, their quality, and then also what we have produced in Australia. I think it's really special.
Things have changed a fair bit since you made your debut for the Matildas as a teenager. How special is that to see the progression of the women's game?
Oh, it's amazing. Just seeing, you know, just worldwide, just how much everyone's wrapped their arms around women's football is so incredible. You know, we were playing against maybe 1,000 people watching us back when I was starting, and now this is just a club, you know, friendly, and all of a sudden we pack it out. It's just awesome.
And women, you're like rock stars. Every time your face goes up on the screen, you're getting, you know, cheers louder than Harry Styles when he was here.
I don't know about that. I can't sing, so not that good yet.
But it's not all over for you. You've still got plenty of football ahead of you, and a big month coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the main thing is with the national team and the Matildas leading into Paris. Hi, Steph. But no, it's really exciting, and I'm just, you know, taking in as much as I can, and making sure that, you know, football's in the best shape possible when I actually leave the game.
It's in a pretty good spot, and big thanks to you as well. Well done.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lydia. She seems as humble as I imagined she was the first day she played football. I have a lot of time for Lydia Williams, full of quality, full of character, and going to be a big loss.
Yeah, she's been great for our game. She'll still be around. I'm sure she'll do her best with FIFPro, PFA, all the things that we see growing in the game off the field. It's a big credit to her and what she does off the field. So not only the great saves, and you know, she's saving football as well off the pitch.
It was great to see the reaction that she was given all through that game, but especially, as we said, when she left the field that minute before half-time. There really is an appreciation there. Do you know what? The women's game, it gives us so much more than we give it, and it's great to see that we could give back just that tiny little bit, especially to someone who's been so influential in it.
It is, and I think, you know, it's a credit to everybody that's showing up tonight, and everybody who comes out to all the games and the A-League women games. You know, we broke attendance records, we broke streaming records, you know, on TV, both on the internet as well, and just, you know, the massive amount of time that the players give back. That's because we're grateful. We're grateful for everything that has come to us, but we know that there's so much more to go.
Yes, there is, and there's plenty more, and we'll hear about it. Let's hear a little bit more from Zappas, who's got some more player reactions.
Yeah, very proud Melbourne girl standing next to me. She used to come here as a kid watching the other sport.
Yeah.
But this must be a special moment for you. You've had a few of them over the last couple of years here in Melbourne.
Yeah, definitely. This is an experience that, on top of a home World Cup, I think I would never have anticipated in my football career when I first started. So to see the crowd, to see, you know, all the Aussie supporters getting behind a team like us at Arsenal and being able to play on home soil, it's very, very special and a night I won't forget.
Just on the game tonight, looks like you were in control for most of it. They pushed you towards the end there, but you felt like you had good control of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be tough. You know, a lot of these players that have come from England haven't done a flight like the one we did a couple of days ago, so there was some heavy legs, some tired eyes, but yeah, I'm proud of the girls with how they performed. I think we did control the game, but you know, the All-Stars are full of very, very good international players and players that have done massive things on big stages, so they were always going to make chances and create opportunities, and they definitely pushed us. And yeah, there was a lot of young players that came on for us at the end, and you know, we've got a lot of talent coming through, and I think that was on display, and it was fun watching them out there.
And just give us an insight into just how hectic the last year's been for you and what's coming up as well. You've played a lot of football, travelled a lot, and you've got a bit to come.
Yeah, it has been a big year, obviously, on the back of the World Cup. I think that was a tiredness like I haven't felt before, emotionally, mentally. So it took me a while to sort of bounce back from that, and there's just been lots and lots of games since, lots of travel. Obviously the Olympics coming up, but that's part of being where we are at the moment, and honestly the game's grown so much, you can't complain. I'm just loving every minute of it, and just trying to keep the body ticking over and healthy for these Olympics coming up. That's the main focus now, but it's been a fun year.
And I was almost blinded by your finger there. You get the bit this spark, very sparkly, bit happening off the field too.
Yeah. Probably getting married next year, so that's exciting. Something other than football for once.
Well done. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good on you. And as the All-Stars do their lap of honour, we're going to take a quick break. There's plenty more reaction to this game on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and that is the Alessia Russo goal that separated these two teams today as Arsenal take the victory 1-0 over our A-League All-Stars, and that's how the game finished. But certainly not where the fun finishes, as it's going off in here, and rightly so. We've got Grace Gill back in the panel. Grace, we haven't had your thoughts on that yet, but what do you make of that game?
Yeah, well, perhaps a little bit as we expected. At one point it felt as though scoring could have opened up a whole lot more, but to the All-Stars' credit and in their defence, they held really strong for most part of it.
Great stuff. We've been dying for her to come home. She's come home, so let's get her on the panel now. It's my absolute pleasure to be joined by the Isuzu U player of the game, Caitlin Ford. Caitlin, it's great to speak to you again. Great to see you guys here as well and getting the win. You know what it takes. You've been here with Mariners, Sydney and Perth. How proud are you of your team today, Arsenal getting the win, but also how proud are you of our All-Stars?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm proud of everyone. Obviously, our girls, it's tough to come here off a flight and play a game, and not a lot of them are used to it. So it was a challenge in itself, and then the All-Stars obviously put up a good fight, and it was a good game all around. I think, yeah, it was very tight. They could have equalised at the end there. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good game, but, yeah, happy to get the win.
How have you seen the differences between since you've left? I mean, you've been gone a little while now. It's crazy to think that you were once in this league. What's the differences that you feel that you saw on the pitch tonight from when you left?
Yeah, I mean, I think just to make an All-Stars team, I think when I was playing, we probably wouldn't have been able to do that and compete with, you know, a WSL team, and I think that shows how many players are coming through, how many young players are coming through, and the quality that is in the league. So I think it's just exciting for obviously the A-League, but the Matildas as well.
And for you, Fordy, knowing Joe and knowing so many of these girls on the field tonight, did you know what to expect from them and how they were going to try and approach you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Joe likes to play. We knew they were going to be confident on the ball. I know they've been in camp all week, so that's what he would have, you know, installed in them. So, yeah, we knew they wanted to play, and they did try and play up from the back, and they did catch us out and switch it out a few times, which caused problems for us. So, yeah, I knew what he was going to do, and it was just about us dealing with it then.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was actually thinking a lot of your academy players played tonight. How long do you think, you know, for people at home not really knowing what English football is all about, how long do you think those players are going to take to push into the actual full squad?
Yeah, I mean, that second half there was a lot of academy girls, and you see the quality that they have, and one girl back from 2 ACLs, you know, the quality that is over there and the youth, and I think it just shows the platform and the programs they have in place to produce players like that. And yeah, I mean, you'll see a lot of those girls in England jerseys one day, so yeah, exciting stuff for the club and, you know, women's football.
It is so exciting, and we could talk about women's football all day, and we rightly should do. It's great to see the domestic league go from strength to strength. It's great to see the women's leagues all around the world going from strength to strength. How important is it that we have our All-Stars women? It's obviously our first game that we've ever had. But to come out as player of the match of that very first game as well for yourself, it must be a very proud moment for yourself as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege. I mean, to be here in an Arsenal jersey, you never think you're going to represent a club overseas and get to play on home soil. So, yeah, just super proud. And, I mean, yeah, to get player of the match, I'll take it with how I felt out there. So, but, yeah, no, just really happy to have this opportunity to be able to do this.
Great stuff. I don't think there's any money or anything like that involved in it. You might get a trophy or something, but we're happy that you've taken it out. It's been a pleasure to speak to you again. And I just love those personal moments that you guys had when you're on the bench and the camera catches you. You don't shy away. You just kind of give the fans back what they deserve. We really appreciate it today. Good on you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for just coming and supporting and making it special for all of us. So
you're the best.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting the brightness in our lives. Another player who I absolutely love, I can talk about her all day, is Katie McCabe. She went through people today. I love it. That's why we love it. And there's no friendlies in football, and why should there be? It's an important day, isn't it?
Well, not that you're biased at all. The Irish coming through strong here.
Here she is there, look at it. Don't be talking about her, she'll take you out too. Katie, we've just been talking about these
Irish.
tackles. Yeah, up for Bray.
I
tell you. I mean, I'll come over to you now in a second. Come here, we've just been talking about your highlights there in the game. It's such an important day today. There was no niceties involved. It was about getting in, giving it 100% like you always do. Talk to us a little bit about the match out there.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough. Obviously, the quick turnaround and the jet lag, it's a first for everyone, apart from obviously the Tilly. So they was giving us some pointers with the jet lag, but no, it was really exciting. Look, for us as a club, for the first time to be here in an exhibition game like this, in front of a lot of talent in the league here as well. So really exciting, and we're just so happy to see all the fans come and turn out and support us as well.
You're such a humble person, but literally there are so many McCabe fans in this stadium. Do you realise the impact that you've made half a world across? It's just amazing to see. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, I think like coming across the other side of the world and seeing the Ireland flags, and I think all the Irish people over here as well helps. But the World Cup last year was massive for us back in Ireland. It was our first ever tournament, and for it to be hosted in Australia, the first game as well against Australia. So such an exciting time for the Ireland women's national team, and yeah, I'm just so proud to be here and representing the club and doing all we can as well to push Ireland.
And coming up against the All-Stars tonight, what did you know about the team? You're up against Courtney Vine, who we know is a super fast player, but you closed her down really well. Did you get a few insights on how that might be?
Yeah, well, we've done a bit of obviously homework last year against the likes of Courtney Vine when we played Australia. And yeah, we've obviously spoken to the three Matildas who know obviously everyone very well. And with Vine, she's got speed, so it's just about how much can I nullify that? And she showed me up at times, but I think we had a good battle, especially in the first half. And then obviously naturally changes happen and stuff, but yeah, always an enjoyable battle.
Yeah, kicking a leg will sort that out, right? Was there anything else about the game that kind of surprised you? I suppose, like coming into anything like that, for sure people can tell you about certain players and that, but when you're out there, it's a different animal, isn't it? What did you get from the game?
I think people can think they're friendlies almost, but once you're out there, you want to win. We're competitive as a club, and the girls, the All-Stars as well, were competitive, and they pushed us right to the very end. And even our young player, Naomi Williams, there with the big save at the end, we could have been a draw. So it was, yeah, a competitive one, but really enjoyable. And like I said, it's just really special to be here representing the club across the other side of the world.
What's next for you, Katie? Where do you go from here?
have to go home, back to London. Long flight back to London, and then in with the national team with Ireland. We've got Euro qualifiers, doubleheader against Sweden. So, yeah, we've as a national team we've not qualified for Euros before, so that's the next big step for us.
Yeah, well, we got our first World Cup and we made it.
We need to get the Euros now.
We get the Euros
what's
next
this we, Tristan?
Yeah, all right. You stop off and Coogee Bay before you go home, like with all the rest of the Irish. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks for taking the time for a safe home,
Thank you.
Good on you. What an absolute legend she is, huh?
Your
Unreal.
accent really
got more and more Irish.
I was about to flip this. I got realised. But we've got plenty more reaction to this game coming up the other side. There's the passion. That's what we love. That's what we want to see. Plenty more reaction on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
For the return off Borello. Milanovic in behind. Oh, what a goal!
Given away here, Taggart shoot on sight. Oh, Taggart! A half chance, and he takes it and cashes it in full.
Aslan's ball near post, headed away and driven back in. Oh, what a goal for Hamza Zaki!
Mikhail Doka shifts it into Nisbet. Josh Nisbet has done it again. He's got 2 in 2.
Tullio arriving. Marco Tullio! Beautiful goal! Sensational from the Brazilian.
Oh, Marco Tullio, how I miss you. That was the nominees for the goal this season from 10 to 6. You will see from 5 to 1 during our coverage of the Isuzu U A-League Grand Final tomorrow. Central Coast Mariners, they take on Melbourne Victory. What a game that one is going to be. Oh, I can't wait for that game. And I couldn't wait for today's game either, and we got it, didn't we? And Gracie, you weren't here when we were talking about Alessia Russo's goal. What did you make of it today? It was a goal worthy of winning a game.
Yeah, and it needed a bit of quality because Arsenal, despite all their dominance, were struggling a little bit just to open up the All-Stars defence. This delivery was pinpoint. Alessia Russo, she was really involved in that first 45 minutes. And from those kind of areas, she tends not to miss, and she made no mistake on that occasion. It was a really neat finish and ultimately the decider tonight.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was enough to win a game. Let's get some reaction from the A-League's coach, Joe Montemuro. He's with Zappers.
Well, Joe, obviously the result you weren't hoping for, but how did you assess the team's performance today?
Well, from day one, it was an opportunity for some of these players to play in front of a big crowd, to play against one of the world's top sides, and and that was the most important thing, to give them that opportunity. I mean, obviously, the game plan in terms of wanting to defend for pockets for long periods, it wasn't what we expected to do. But you've got a team that finished the WSL last week, and you've got a team that hasn't played for 6 weeks. So that was an obvious scenario there.
Was that the key difference? What did you see that you liked about your team's performance tonight? At the end, you created a great opportunity. Some of the substitutes that came on really made a difference.
Yeah, we sort of, we planned to sort of work within pockets, within moments of the game, because we knew that a lot of players couldn't play the 90 minutes. We sort of pushed on a little bit more. We were a little bit braver in terms of playing with 4 up top, and we nearly got the result. But look, you can see the difference, and all credit, and it's been a great night for football.
I know yesterday you were asked about what's next. We know you've got a great coaching career and CV. What's next?
Yeah, look, we'll wait and see. There's a few things we're assessing in Europe at the moment, and as I said, I left Juventus on the back of wanting to have a bit of a rest, and I'm happy to, and I've been given this opportunity, which has been fantastic, and it's a good reflection time for me at the moment.
All the best with whatever's next. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Joe. Loose lips sink ships, they say, huh? We'll find out soon enough what's going on there. But talk to us again about the game, Gracie. Probably just patterns of play, maybe that was the big difference. Obviously, there's a quality difference there, but we weren't too far off today getting something out of it.
No, I think just little moments of intensity. We saw a level of physicality that Arsenal had that the All-Stars didn't. They were just sort of half a pace off the ball on a few occasions. So there was that intensity, that physicality. And when they're a team that are so well drilled, at the tail end of their WSL season. They've been together for a long time now. This is an all-stars team that have spent all but 5-6 days together. So you can understand the difference, but some really positive signs.
But certainly enough from today that they can walk home with their chins held high.
They certainly can, and I think they really brought it to the Arsenal, and I feel like Joe Montemuro has done some amazing work in a week. I've spoken to a lot of the girls, and they just say how much of a good coach he is, how well respected he is, and just that they're all sponges trying to learn as much as they can off them. And probably they were actually quite bummed that it was only a week they got to spend under his tutelage. And I know the coaches that were around him would have used that experience to learn for themselves and to grow themselves as coaches. So this event not only does great for women's football, the crowds turning up, but it's done so much for the game in itself, having Joe come back and put some knowledge into those around him and make better players, make better coaches, and leave the game better than he's found it.
He's most definitely doing that. We're going to take one more quick break, and we're going to wrap it up on the other side of that one. Stay with us.
The Isuzu Ute A-League Grand Final is only the beginning of Finals Day on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. After the A-League decider, the countdown is on for the FA Cup Final. The Battle of Manchester at Wembley Stadium.
This can win it, and it does. It's a Manchester FA Cup Final again.
Also on Paramount Plus, the Scottish Cup Final roars to life with a derby of its own between Celtic and Rangers.
And that is enough for Rangers to book their place.
And then to complete the football marathon, Harry Kewell's Yokohama F. Marinos tackled Hernan Crespo's Al Ain in the second leg of the Asian Champions League final. One night, 9 hours of intense football drama, all on Network 10 and Paramount Plus.
I am going to watch absolutely every minute of that football tomorrow, especially this game up in Gosford, the grand final between Central Coast Mariners as they take on Melbourne Victory. Mariners, of course, going for the treble. Tony Popovic hoping to get his first grand final win there for Victory. Ladies, how do you see that game going tomorrow? It's going to be a big one.
Well, I think Central Coast has actually been so dominant, but I think Melbourne Victory might have it.
Oh, that's a big call, Bubs. Honestly, I just can't split it. I think if anyone could beat the Mariners, it could be Victory. But Mariners going for the triple, what a huge occasion for them.
Oh, it really is, and a huge occasion for the Matildas coming up as well. Of course, on Friday, you can catch them at Adelaide Oval as they take on China. The second game then is going to be on Monday, so a double-header coming up against China. Two huge games for the Tillies, and we love having them back on the shores here as well. But what a day of football we've had today in Marvel Stadium from early morning. I didn't sleep last night. Buzzing about today, and I think I got what I wanted out of it. What about you?
Certainly, like Global Football Week to a T.
Yeah.
The football that we've had so far this week, it's going to culminate in that grand final tomorrow night. I can't believe this is actually happening in Melbourne. It's such a dream come true as a footballer that's been involved in the game for so long and seen it grown from its infancy. To see what has happened tonight is just overwhelming, really is.
No, it is. And it's a real pleasure to be a part of it as well, to see the women take on Arsenal, to see the men take on Newcastle as well. It's just been such a great evening, a great spectacle, and finished on such a high this evening as well.
Yeah, it really does. And like I said, I can't wait for tomorrow. I hope United get absolutely hammered by City in that FA Cup final. Celtic, for sure, going to dominate Rangers. You know what I think about the grand final, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. From me, from Grace and Jeff, it's been great, Melissa, to have you here as well. From us, here at Marvel Stadium, goodbye and thank you.